Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
And great recognition by their guard to give the ball down low on the block and take advantage of that height.
Big Henry came back strong, 19 points on Saturday. You can do that. He only makes 44%. Bogavaz fires. Got it. Off the inbounds, give him 10. Picked off. Trimble out in front. And a slam. Pick up Peterson. Hoists. And there's Tiller and one. Grayson Tiller, the putback. That one taken away. Sharp has it. Now Lemmings inside. Had it blocked. But a putback by McCarty. Of Marco Jackson. Council. Gorgeous move. Melvin Council Jr. His first two of the night.
Good morning. Welcome in to Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Hanging
in there?
Everything is everything. How about you?
I'm doing all right. I want to set the lineup here real quick before we get started. Coming up at 8 o'clock, God willing, we will talk to BRENT SOBLESKI from BleacherReport. Try this for the second time. We'll talk some NFL draft, some evals, and everything in between with our guy Brent. And don't forget our 99 quarterbacks.
And Trent Dilfer ain't one?
Trent Dilfer ain't one. Neither is Baker Mayfield. That's the one that Austin's upset about. He's upset about his Baker Mayfield.
Oh, I agree.
So that's.
I mean, if Ryan Tannehill is on there, Baker Mayfield has to be on
Tannehill
there.
greater than Mayfield.
Yeah, 100%.
And then at 9:30, I believe we're going to get our chance to talk to Nick BAHE. He's on his way back from Kansas after calling that Houston-Kansas game last night. So he will join us. Cell service allowing, he will join us at 9:30. So that is the lineup today.
Is he getting his drive game right?
I think so. I think he's just driving back. Yeah.
Oh, it can be treacherous.
Yeah,
I've made that drive several times.
So I made that one last year. My buddy Jake, they had their conference.
Jake and the Fat Man. Did you ever used to watch that show?
I did not.
Oh.
I've only heard of it because
I think it was a gumshoe kind of.
What's a gumshoe?
Like detective.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think. Isn't that what gumshoe is?
I don't know. I've heard the term.
Maybe I was thinking gumption. I need a
Jake and the Fat Man.
I need a.
He looks like a detective or a lawyer.
I need a sleeve.
Oh, do you want mine?
No, you use it. That's no.
I'm just trying to be nice out here, DB.
No, we're boys, but nah.
Not like that.
Nah.
It looks like Matlock spent a few too many trips to the buffet. That's what Jake and the Fat Man looks like.
Oh, okay. Who's Jake?
I don't know.
Is he different than the Fat Man? Did you look at cast?
Because
the cast will say like the name.
All right, so we got Jake.
Is
he's
Jake the fat guy?
He's the younger guy. He's not appear to be the fat guy.
All right, so maybe they're just out here solving crimes.
Yeah, I think if I had to guess based on the cast pictures, William Conrad would have been the Fat Man.
Oh, Billy Conrad?
Yeah, this one here appears to
William,
be the
don't
Fat
call
Man.
me Bill. Hey, so I'm guessing, Shane, if I can get you to pay attention for about 5 seconds, maybe, or so, probably, maybe.
Yeah,
What'd Sip say? Is he on vacation? He hasn't been on early break. Is he taking some time off?
He's watching the grandkids.
Oh, that's good. Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
What a nice soul.
Yeah, super nice man. Good for him. Would you, young L3?
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to get Sip later on in the week.
He said Friday or next week.
I got another guest that I'm working on. I'm just trying to keep us fresh. Trying to keep us relevant.
Go
ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I was not being nice last night.
Oh, in the group chat?
No, I was trying to be nice. I wanted to acknowledge when Darryn Peterson had an assist.
Yeah. The GIF was hilarious.
His only one of the game. It came like 38 minutes deep. So that was nice.
So he just wanted to keep his average where it is.
It actually goes down a little because he was at 1.4. You know what else I did last night, though?
What's that?
Because I was curious. I was really impressed with Darryn Peterson because he played more than 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Which at this point has happened now 10 times on the year, has played 25 minutes. I don't know if you know, his basketball games are 40 minutes long. And then in the NBA, they're 48 minutes long. So 25 is not very many of those minutes.
Hey, he's getting baby steps.
Here's what I found really interesting, though, because I was like, oh, I wonder how he's played in these games that he's played at least 25 minutes, because his numbers are still pretty good on the season. We'll look him up real quick, give you an up-to-date number on what his stats are currently, because people still think he's the number one pick in the draft. So I did see one yesterday.
So if you had to, so right now, are you on record as saying he will not be?
I'm saying I in no way, shape, or form would ever take him number one.
Okay.
I don't know what other people are going to do. It's 100% no for me. So his stats currently.
That's a no for me, dog.
It's going to be a no for me, dog. Shout out Randy Jackson. Still 19.5 points per game, 47% from three or from the field, which has fallen precipitously, but still pretty good number, and 40% even from 3-point range, which again has fallen, but still a good number. You want to know what his numbers are in games in which he has played 25 minutes, and there's only been 10 of them. I just did shooting percentages. I don't have his per game average because I had to add it up manually because I'm not smart enough to do it automatically.
Well, talk to me.
In the 10 games in which he has played at least 25 minutes, he is shooting 39% from the field.
Ooh, maybe fatigue sets in.
From the field.
Anecdotally?
From 3-point range, he is shooting 35%. If I told you that you're going to draft a guy number one overall who's shooting 39 and 35%, we're not even having that discussion anymore, right? Mm-hmm. That's what you're dealing with when Darryn Peterson actually plays an entire game.
Oh, Jacob Padilla is going to love you.
I'm just saying that's what the numbers say. He is.
Are we just not going to stand for this kind of slander? Are we?
It's not slander. It's numbers. It is. He is 63 for 160 from the field.
Hey, I don't think that's very good.
It's not. It's actually quite bad.
Do tell. What should we do about that? Maybe only play him 25 minutes or less in the NBA.
Well, I don't think that's plausible. I'll be honest with you.
I thought that's what we were getting.
I think maybe he's not the number one pick.
Oh, so we should probably go with who? AJ DeMansa?
Here's my question, though.
I'm telling you who it isn't, and I don't want to hear any lip.
Who's that? Cam Boozer?
It can't be Boozer.
I'm okay with that. I honestly, God is my witness or whoever else, I would take Caleb Wilson over Cam Boozer, and not just because you're a Carolina fan.
Yeah, that was a huge win for the Carolinians last night. They needed that with the whole shakeups over the weekend because it was a messy weekend.
They haven't lost at home yet either, have they?
Oh,
that's 16-0, I think. I mean, they tried to give it away at the end there.
I know, but I mean, stats. I think Carolina, it actually matters. But I gave you the one. I gave you UCLA out of a random. I heard somebody else say that stat yesterday too, which I thought was interesting. But
the 15-1.
Yeah, I was like, no, that's a weird pull because I thought I was being weird. But anyway, having said that, what?
I just wonder where they got it.
I mean, they got internet. Doesn't have to be.
I was just curious.
Now, there's a lot of other people that do that, so I'm not going to throw them under the bus because they never do their own homework. But
I think sometimes
this guy, he likes numbers.
Our show is so popular. I just thought maybe other people use that information.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're here to educate, DB. It's all right.
Educate. I mean, kind of. Sometimes I leave dumber. Yesterday was one of those days. I was like, yeah, I'm not very smart today.
That's usually on me.
No, I mean, I'm still laughing at Austin's delivery. Because, he was totally off his game and he was trying his brains out. And he goes, if it were me. And I thought that was funny because I think that a lot.
Yeah.
I just don't say it a lot because sometimes that can come off as, all right, Richard Head.
It not always.
But he was very intentional about wanting to get things fixed. So I was like, oh shoot, man. I don't know. He doesn't seem much like the hugging type, but I'd just been like, you good?
Need a little.
I asked him if he wanted a coffee, a soda.
A little bro hug it up. Just
and he's different than Rico because Rico's always smiling and jacking around. So you always assume it's okay with Rico.
Yeah, even when it's not. He'll find a way to smile through it.
Yeah. My man he talks fast. He walks fast. I was trying to walk with him into the building and I was like, nope, not catching that guy.
Rico says you should have heard him during the show.
I'm serious. Like I can, because he's so particular. He's very particular. Yeah. I could only imagine. Little mercy me.
The Cal Jam says GMs are famously dumb AF. in the Peterson conversation.
Yeah. KJ, I am definitely with you.
Big.
I don't know. Are we boys enough to call him KJ? Should I maybe I shouldn't go to the KJ yet. Yeah, I mean, Kel Jam is kind of I don't want to go to KJ yet.
I assume
we haven't even had a ginger ale.
I assume Kel Jam is not his government.
I'm gonna probably
I don't
agree.
know. Maybe it's like maybe it's ethnically true to his background. I don't know. I'm not familiar with it. I don't know where that'd be from, but
I don't know. For some reason, he strikes me as pretty standard.
Pretty white.
Just standard. Okay. Oh, so do you want to play a game? No, I'm not going to play a game because
Big Red Gun wants DeBonce at number 1.
Yeah. I think Big Red Gun is a hoops hand.
I think
hoops head. At least he comes off that way.
I probably take DeBonce at 1 because I think he's getting better. But also, I think there are fewer sure things in this draft than we make it seem like. I think there's a lot of really good options, but I think there's fewer sure things in this draft.
I completely disagree.
Who's your sure thing?
Well, I think there's I mean, I'll pick any one of the guards. Give me Acuff. Give me Kingston Flemings.
Okay.
Although
those aren't the guys we're talking about number 1, though. I mean,
no, I know you talking about a surefire number 1.
Well, I'm talking about the guys that are in the conversation for those top.
I'm giving you picks. Top 6 picks.
I get that.
I don't know. It's going to be a pretty good draft. There's a lot of guys with pro games.
I understand that, but I mean, in terms of what people are talking, people are comparing Darryn Peterson to Kobe. That's not the conversation we should be having. There might be very good players in this draft.
So I have to give you just a smidge of a pushback.
Okay.
So you're afforded the luxury of knowing what the finished product looks like.
Absolutely.
High school Kobe coming out overseas and from Philly.
100%.
Very, very, very similar. And as a matter of fact, Peterson's a better shooter.
I agree. If you want to take Peterson 13, I'm cool.
Fair point.
I mean,
fair point.
It's a different conversation.
Is that 96, 97?
Yeah.
Oh, who else came? I think that was a pretty chunky draft.
That's a good draft.
Whenever we play our game today,
the blind ranking.
Shall we play a game? I actually have 7 candidates. I have to narrow it down to 5.
I'll do 7. That's fine. We can do 7.
You want to rank 7?
Might as well. Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you a little 90s basketball.
Random college basketball champions, right?
Yeah. I'll get because what got me thinking about it was the whole pro thing. Pros.
Oh, the number of guys in the pros?
Yeah, and you're going to look at some of these rosters and you're going to be like, oh, they won? And I'll be like, yeah.
So
with these starters,
I do have a little bit of an advantage because I did go through the exercise of finding the pros in each roster. So I'll have a little bit of advantage there, but
you'll know the teams.
Yeah.
They just aren't widely regarded. Maybe 1, 2 have aged better than I thought real time.
Okay. In terms of,
especially one of the teams in the 90s.
In terms of the guys, the way we,
I just think it was a really good team.
I'm looking up the
96. Edley, I would do a lot with. What would I do with this? How did we get to talking about the Saudis? Did the Saudis fund your guys' new studio? No. Apparently, though, the Saudis can fund anything.
Yeah, it seems like they're unlimited money. That's what it seems like.
I mean, good enough to get. What are the Saudis doing now? Liv's going to fall apart, so that doesn't count. Oh, they got the potential fight, which I don't want to see.
Which one? Pacquiao Mayweather?
Yeah, not interested.
I think it's announced.
Yeah, I saw September. I mean, they've been talking about it, and Floyd's been in the gym, and he's got a ton of lawsuits, so I think he's
needs a little cash,
legit broke. But
yeah, I have no interest in watching 2 guys in their late 40s that it wasn't a good fight 11 years ago.
I don't either.
That was a terrible fight.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I'm probably as big a boxing honk as you know, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it doesn't. It drives me crazy. So I'm out on that. But
96 draft was Allen Iverson, Marcus Camby 1-2. Sharif Abdul-Rahim 3, Stephon Marbury, Ray Allen, Antoine Walker.
I knew that draft was chunky.
Yeah,
that's
an all-timer.
That's a sensational draft.
Then Lorenzen Wright, who still had a good career. He's not like one of those guys. Kerry Kittle had a good career.
Yeah.
Smacky Walker was okay.
Smacky Walker played double-digit years.
He played forever. Yeah. He played forever. Eric Dampier played forever.
Yeah. Damp's son is pretty sweet.
Todd Fuller was probably the biggest. He was the only guy in the top.
Have you seen Damp's son? Yeah, He's nice. I think he's either 9th or 10th grade right now.
Okay, so this is wild. Todd Fuller is the only guy in the top 17 picks that did not play double-digit years in the NBA.
That draft is sensational. That was my senior year. That's why I remember that.
Peja went right after.
Stojakoswish.
Yep. Then Steve Nash, Tony Delk, Jermaine O'Neal were 14, 15, 16, 17. That draft was stacked.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's unbelievable. Then you got some late gems too. You got Zdrunas Ilgauskas in there. Derek Fisher's in that draft. That's a crazy draft.
I'm not a D Fish guy. Coincidentally, small world. Derek Fish, his first year at UARL, Arkansas Little Rock, he went to school with my ex-wife.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Tanya went to UARL, could get her in from over the border.
Oh,
pretty easy for admissions.
Yeah.
And then she came from Arkansas Little Rock to Nebraska.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. The more you know.
It is always kind of interesting, those like certain schools. I remember for a long time it was like Winthrop in basketball.
Yeah.
Just had like a New Zealand connection, and like it was super easy for them to get guys over.
St. Mary's and Gonzaga are the two that come to mind now.
Yeah, for Australia especially. Yeah. St. Mary's.
Seton Hall had a plug there for a little bit with the Andrew Gaze connection.
Randy Bennett at St. Mary's has been able to get.
Do you remember Andrew Gaze?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Andrew Gaze v. Ramil Robinson.
I know Ramil Robinson.
What championship was that for the Wolverines?
Ramil Robinson would have been 89.
I was gonna say 90, but I think 80. I don't, I'm bad with with the season. I think you're right.
I think it's 89.
I think you're right. Ramil Robinson. That team was.
That's the Glenn Rice team, right?
Yeah, really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Ramil Robinson, you know who he reminded me of?
Who's that?
Not Bushwick Bill, but Scarface. Mr. Scarface went up the water spout. Out jumped the fiend and steal all his rocks.
Is that Scarface like the rapper?
That thing wet.
Oh, I was thinking Scarface like Al Pacino, and I was like, why does he remind you of Al Pacino?
No. No. Although they would say hello to their little friend. The other one was just Bushwick. My bad.
I was like, I don't think Ramil Robinson and Al Pacino have much in common.
Not even quite a dad joke.
Do they both do really bad Cuban accents?
So Huskerwood, is it 89-90 the season?
No, it's 8. I believe it's 88-89. I believe the tournament was in 89.
Okay. Well, Huskerwood is saying 1990, and he's usually a Google guy, but it's 80. There you go, 89. There you go.
It's 88.
There you go. I don't know, Joe Good. Everybody says that Mayweather should have 2 losses. I don't know. I know you're going with Castillo, but who was the other one? Right. Maidana? Who's the second loss, Joe Good? I'm guessing he's going to say Maidana. I could see Castillo.
I mean,
you know the other thing that just talking to him on Friday. De La Hoya got smoked. Come on, Joe Good.
Oh yeah, De La Hoya did not win that fight.
He's got to be talking about Maidana.
And listen, I wanted De La Hoya to win that fight. He did not. He did not win that fight. I'll say 90 was UNLV, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one thing that I like about Terrence's career, he never had a close fight.
Yeah, there's no questions there,
right?
Like there's
almost everybody else that's in the undefeated has one of those. Yeah, I don't know. Did the mob fix it? If you're talking early,
sure.
And then late, it's God. Did he win that? Yeah,
I think there's the sense, and
TC has 0. I mean, this guy is so good. In every round in which you could make the case he got hurt, he stopped him.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a split decision, does he?
No, they're all unanimous or KOs. That's incredible.
Unreal. I mean, that's got to be unprecedented. Yeah. Like
that's just a little known fact. Like 0.
I was looking back because I was trying to remember if there was even one that like the haters were even sort of, but I mean, he went through such a long KO streak that it's hard
after he
went up. Yeah.
I was very animate on a show. I think it might have been part of my own, where people kept questioning me on whether his power would travel, and I was being a homer. And I'm like, I'm just telling you, like, The guy is ruthless. Like his power will travel. He's mean-spirited.
So
like he punches hard.
So and he likes to hurt people.
Yeah,
that's
he does.
That's the difference.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
So from 2014 until let's see here, until 20. So for a decade, he had 2 fights not be knockouts. Or I mean, Diaz retired, but that counts. I'm counting that. Beltran and Postal. And Postal was super awkward.
Yeah.
Super awkward fighter.
Postal was supposed to be able to give him fits because of his length and range. He was super crafty.
Yeah.
But he'd tell you Victor could hit.
Yeah, big guy, good power, but just awkward fighting style. Like it was hard to square up.
He got slept.
But it was, I mean, that wasn't a close fight.
Madrimov was the closest fight ever. Very, very, I mean, just a big, strong. Madrimov was tough.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, so it is so hard for me, Joe Good, to like Roberto Duran because Roberto Duran fought during the Leonard Hearns era. It would be like, it'd be akin to, and only Shane can pull this off because he somehow can like the Red Wings and the Avalanche. It would be akin to liking the Cowboys and the 49ers.
Yeah.
In the
Good morning
80s.
again.
Even 90s, even to like early 90s, they went,
or the Raiders and Steelers in the 70s. Like, I just can't. Well, yeah, Hagler too, because he's part of the Four Kings. But Hagler's arguably the most underappreciated great boxer of all time.
You're a big Hagler guy.
I'm really not. I rock with. So what you're thinking of is when I told you, I think this was off air. Hagler's a guy who I came to really, really respect that I didn't like.
Gotcha. Okay.
I can't remember what we were just waxing poetic about boxing one day, but
I think so.
Hagler was a guy that I never liked real time.
Okay.
But you look back at his career, you talk about a guy that they tried to rob.
Yeah.
I mean, like Hagler was.
Well, and nobody wanted to fight that dude.
No, Hagler was incredible.
Yeah.
And he did it his way.
Nobody wanted to fight that dude at all.
So I'm not a fan, but I respect him. Yeah, because I didn't like his style.
Yeah. And boxing, that's how I'm with basketball. That's how you are with running backs. Like, if I don't like your style, you can be as great as you want to be. I'm going to struggle.
Yeah.
In terms of how I feel about
you. Hagler was there's a couple of guys that I came around on. Cotto was a guy I used to really hate. I like Miguel Cotto.
Was he the one? Is he the one that had the plaster?
Got the plaster used on against Antonio Margarito.
That's yep.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Are you going old? See, boxing, that's why I don't like the whole Pacquiao Mayweather thing. Like, as a purist, when I would call myself a purist, I can't be doing this.
No. I mean, it's I'm not a fan of it, but like, it's one thing when you're Mike Tyson fighting some weirdo YouTuber, whatever. Like, this is supposed to be a real boxing match.
Yeah,
like, this is getting sanctioned as a real boxing match.
I know. I couldn't disagree more. I just call him Husker Wood. I'm just going to call him DK. I don't know what I should call him. Husk. It was a great round and a half. It wasn't a great fight. The fight sucked. Hearns was on coke. I don't know. Well, he was. It was well documented.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if you've heard Tommy Hearns talk lately.
Yeah. Not like it's like 10 years ago. But,
well, you gotta understand though.
It's very similar.
Sounds like your boy LT.
Yeah, Motor City Cobra. He was a bad boy. 6'2", long, explosive. He gave my man Sugar Ray, who's arguably my favorite.
So you got to tell me, because I got distracted by your great round and a half. So there was who was old boy? I think his last name was Corrales.
Diego Corrales knocking out Castillo
in the third fight, right?
Yeah, with his
great
Corrales
like 3 rounds, or was that a great?
The
fight?
whole fight was good.
That's what I thought, but I was trying to, because I haven't watched it in a while.
The whole fight was great.
That's one of the best fights I think I've ever seen.
Chico's eye was shut.
Yeah,
he just touched the canvas.
Yeah, he got like it. He looked like he got put to sleep.
He gave him a left hook that was. I'm a huge. You know this though. I'm a huge Chico Corrales guy.
That was.
You talk about a guy that fought demons.
Oh yeah, I mean, that was probably one of the best.
Ultimately caught up with him.
That's probably one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life. Just like pure action.
Yeah.
Like that's an unbelievable fight.
Yeah, I remember I fell in love with Mayweather when he beat Corrales.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's a 6'2.5", 130 pounder.
Yeah, which is super awkward in that division.
And that's back when he was Pretty Boy.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was an incredible fight. Now, I think Corrales may have been fresh off a bender.
Yeah.
Had missed some training, lost a guy in his corner. Like Corrales was going through it for that fight, but he got worked like a
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he would have beat him in best case scenario, but that is a guy, Corrales, where you're like, yeah, if he'd been able to be dialed.
Yeah, Dixie, we're gonna get those walls. We're gonna get the wall. We're gonna fix that. So I appreciate the letting us know that we've got a little bit of an echo. But much like when you're in an empty room and you're filling it in, that's going to happen.
Yeah, we've got some vinyl background designs and stuff going up on the walls, and then we're gonna get it soundproofed a little bit better.
Ashes, we all fall down. Yeah, it was super memorable. Hagler Hearns, it was, but that was not a good version of Hearns.
No.
Who allegedly broke 3 bones in his hand.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of those types of stories in boxing where you're like, I didn't get the best version of him.
Joe Good, you're just a pup. I like your Rolodex. You big JMM guy, Manuel Marquez?
Oh, interesting. I'm not.
I am not.
I'm not personally.
I didn't love the style. But
I'm not personally.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm not excited. I'm not excited.
No, not at all. I honestly I couldn't even believe it. Like when they put that, I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like what's happening right now? This is like what are we doing?
You want to play a quick game?
Yeah, always.
I'm plus 70, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to play Do I Know a Black Guy? You're infamously not very good at this. Do I know a black guy?
Is it the 2 on our?
You know Roy.
Yeah, I know Roy.
For $10, would you like to tell me who this is?
Pass.
Really?
I don't know who that is.
Well, you are wild.
I don't even have a good guess.
Golly, Waltz, you're gonna get me to go there. Lennox Lewis is another guy I couldn't stand that I grew to appreciate. Lennox Lewis was great.
Stylistically, didn't love him, but
Lennox
really
Lewis,
great fighter.
Lennox Lewis was sensational.
Great champion.
And I hate his guts.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand him on broadcast.
Not a good.
I'm a Holyfield guy, so it's impossible for me to.
Not a good broadcaster.
I couldn't. He said, "Say yes." The month is almost over. God dang, I missed you, Dixie. Jiminy Christmas. So no,
I don't have a good guess. I don't have a good guess.
Dang, that would have been stealing.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm gonna pass.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Golly, you could have. I bought you some time to even gaggle.
Well, how am I supposed to Google? Like, I can't like scan it with my phone.
Can't people with Apples do that? Or can I do that too?
But I'd have to like get around there. It's a whole thing.
Can I do that too? Can I do that with like products?
I have no idea. You might have. There might be like an app you can.
What'd you say, Liquid?
Google me.
Oh,
that
was Kurt.
That's not Signetti.
That is Amir Brown.
Oh, okay.
Nice job, Ravi.
I didn't recognize him. I did see him.
Everybody's in super
you didn't know?
Super panic mode because he's apparently going to visit Bama.
Oh no.
Pressing.
Oh no. No, Amir Brown is nice.
He is nice. I mean, guys are gonna take visits. It's fine.
Yeah, I just brought him today to give a little goodwill.
I saw him.
Oh no.
I saw. I think Tim Verghese retweeted a video of him squatting.
Yeah, he's explosive.
Yeah,
little squatty body.
Hello, 500, a little 500 up there.
Yeah, it's big time.
Yeah, that's a good number.
Yeah, squatting was my thing, which is why I think my cakes were so swollen. But not doing that anymore. Although I do love a good front squat.
Oh, I hate front squats.
Why is that funny? You laugh at the strangest things. You swollen cakes?
Caught me off guard. Didn't know we were going swollen cakes this morning.
Back in the day, Clinton used to call them Duncan Hines. I was like, that's weird, but that's funny. You know, Duncan Hines used to be the jam.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Did you
might call you hostess with all the hostess cakes, you know?
Did you? I'd be Little Debbie. No, actually, I would be Team Hostess.
Yeah, that's a wild take. Little Debbie has way better snacks.
So the only thing I'm like pot committed on is oatmeal cream pies. Everything else is negotiable. Like I get fruit. Oh, can I just tell you guys this? This broke my heart. I mean, I literally moped around the house. I'm dead dog serious.
Yeah.
So, you know, I try to eat a certain way and I try to reward myself every now and again. So one of my favorite grocery stores is closing.
Okay.
And everything's 25% off and some things are going to be 50% off. So you find yourself, you know, getting things that you may not want.
Oh, that's the one over by you, right?
Yeah,
I think I saw it.
It's breaking my heart.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, and by the way, just in like 3 weeks, it used to be 8 pieces for $8.99 for chicken at this particular grocery store chains. It's up to $10.99 already.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, who are you guys? Krispy Kreme?
I tried to send you a good deal this weekend.
Yeah, it was so I wanted to go, but I was like, I don't really have it. I mean, Mike is getting ready to travel these next 2 weeks, but I think the price that I could read, because I don't have Facebook, but that particular grocery store, that location, they have a lot of those little cool deals a lot.
Really?
Sometimes it's on seafood. Yeah, those look sensational.
Yeah.
But I'm like $3 in 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
Is $10.99 even a deal?
No. I'm not. I mean, I don't think so.
Can't you do like, what's Popeyes doing for their $5 boxes? Could I build 10 pieces of chicken and get to $11?
For 10, probably not. You're probably getting the 5 pieces for $11, or maybe 5 pieces for $9.
I'm like, that ain't so much of a deal. So,
but here's the thing: then I don't have to cook it.
So they happen to have they had pies, ham pies.
Oh, I like ham pies a lot.
Well, it's
basically a fruit pie.
One of my favorites. Yeah,
I
just call them ham pies because you hold them in your hand. But yeah, it's fruit pie. I'd never seen it before.
Yeah,
it's caramel apple.
Oh, I haven't seen those either.
So I looked around.
Mikey likes it.
Exactly. I said, "Ooh, I'm gonna get this."
Yeah,
there were only like 3 left in the basket, but there were like 13 pies left. It was at the bottom.
Yeah,
I had some bad ones, pumpkin spice, some other trash.
Not doing a pumpkin spice. That's disgusting.
So I got it Sunday because yesterday was Monday, right? So, you know, I had my little steak. I mean, on point. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna have half. I put it back in the box. I flipped the box over. For a Hostess snack or a Little Debbie's snack, just one serving, what do you think would be a lot of calories?
Ooh, so those things are aggressive. I know that for sure.
What do you think would be a lot of calories? Is 250 a lot for like a zebra cake? That's a lot.
That's about right. But
that's a lot, right?
Yeah. I mean, but I think that's in the neighborhood of where you're at.
Right. You're talking.
Those are like 500, aren't they?
50 grand. It was 400 calories.
Yeah. Yeah.
For one pie.
Yeah. The ham pies are aggressive.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
The only time I eat those now is if
it was 76 grams of carbs.
Yeah. The only time I eat those now is if I'm like crashing out hard and like I need something.
I don't think you understand. It's the size of this box.
No, I know. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they I don't know how they get that many calories and carbs into one.
Listen, man, I was like the little kid who got picked last in dodgeball. I put my head down, turned the kitchen light off, walked it over to the trash, stepped on the thing, and it took me like 3 seconds to let go.
You ever like say your goodbyes?
I ain't even open it. I'm like, I'm not even gonna tell myself. I was like, and I dropped it. Yeah, it's crushed. 400 calories.
Complete me.
I go get a fat burger with extra sucky mayo and be good.
I'm gonna be honest. I think you're underestimating how much is in your burger, but depends on where you get it from.
I think an egg McMuffin is like a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin is like 380 calories.
You're under 500 for one of those.
I bet I'm under 400. I bet it's 400 or less. $10?
No.
Dang.
I think it's right around. I think it's somewhere between like 380
Yeah,
and 420.
Joe Good. It was almost 100 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is this little thing 400 calories?
It's unbelievable. Honestly, it's kind of a scientific achievement to be able to squish that many calories in that small of a...
I mean, was anything like everything in there had to be made in the lab?
Oh, for sure. Well, I think at one point they were an apple. There was probably an apple used at some point.
I was like, whoa, boy. Yeah, I would eat a chicken. I don't like McGriddles because I do like
McGriddles.
I don't like syrupy bread.
Yeah, it's not like wet.
No butter, Todd. What? I don't get it with butter. What is that? 420? I mean, butter's got to be 60 grams.
Depends on how much.
Or 60 calories.
But butter's aggressive.
Because I never get it on there, even though I cook with like real butter.
I mean, you got to. That's where the flavor comes from.
No, that's where like good caloric intake comes from.
I'm just saying, everybody asks why you can't make things at home. It's because you're not using enough butter.
Shoot, I think the only seed oil, I'm into algae oil.
Rico says you don't like McGriddles. I thought you were American.
I think I am.
McGriddles. I like McGriddles.
I don't like syrupy bread.
No, I get you. You're not
not with the meat.
You're not a sweet meat guy. So
no, if I was going to eat a McGriddle, I would take the top off. I would put some syrup on it and eat it like a waffle.
I feel you.
I don't want it with my egg, and that's why I don't understand why people make maple sausage.
Yeah, I don't need maple.
But
sausage.
apparently, clearly, I'm in a minority because I guess sausage and waffle and pancake, that stuff goes together.
I don't like maple sausage. I will mess around with like some maple bacon, if you want to.
Oh God, you blasphemer!
Listen, okay,
JK, I'm trying to make my own tallow. I am like literally collecting fat.
I'm going to put you on the spot here for a second. You're the one that way back in the day, there's an establishment here.
Back in the day.
This is probably 10 years ago at this point. So like we had barely known each other. I just like crossing.
This ought to be good.
Like crossing paths in the old studios. You're the one that put me on to, there's a place here in town, no free shout outs, that has something called $1 Million Bacon. And you put me onto that.
Yeah, but I told you I got it without the drizzle because the strips laid flat.
All right, well, I forgot.
That's my spot that I go to with Dr. Stark.
I forgot.
He swears by that.
I forgot the no drizzle part, and I love it.
Yeah.
The $1 Million Bacon is legit.
I'm team no drizzle.
All right. Well, that's fair then.
No drizzy.
I mean, much like a lot of things, I probably forgot to listen to the second half of what you said.
Damn.
I heard the part I wanted, and I was like, yep, we're taking that.
I'm sure I wasn't listening.
Golly. So a couple of these guys have hacks on TikTok. Apparently, you're supposed to ask for the scrambled egg on your McDonald's breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, I
so
didn't know that.
Not the folded.
Because that's like the bane of my existence. Is those when that egg gets cold and
you're supposed to ask for the scrambled egg.
Oh, I'll have to do that now.
Yeah. I don't know how it's going to stay together on there, but
I don't either. Like I can't eat that in the car, so that's a problem. Because that's
generally eating in your car.
That's the reason. The only reason I go to
adult, you've earned the right.
That's the only reason I go to those places.
You can even use silverware if you like. Nah. You don't have to eat Pop-Tarts and Cheez-Its.
Yeah, they're good though. You know why I eat stuff like that though?
I can't believe you didn't know that was Amir Brown. I wanted $10.
I mean, you were literally betting on the fact that I didn't know it was Amir Brown, so you can believe it.
Well, I left it up there for a while for you to be like, oh, he's going to ask me. He asks me every day.
Yeah, I just figured you would just tell me. Didn't know you were. This is the first time you've wanted to bet on it.
Yeah, I'm like, well, he's black. He's not going to know.
That's not true.
I mean, it's probably 1 out of 7. You're pretty bad. You're about a 15%er.
I usually narrow it down to 2, though, and one of them is right.
Pretty bad. It's kind of funny, I think.
Jose Bueno, I've never had a cookies and cream Pop-Tart. I've not had that flavor.
Cookies and cream pop.
I'm gonna be honest, that doesn't sound good to me.
Cookies and cream Pop-Tart.
I did find though, shout out to my mom. She just bought these for me. They have protein Pop-Tarts now, so I'm gonna try those out. A little extra protein in them.
Man, I worry about the consistency.
I do too, but we're gonna give them a shot. We're gonna go.
I can't talk. I dry scooped. God dang that IMP fiber from NextGen.
Don't dry scoop stuff, man. Don't do that.
Nick looked at me and he said, let's just back that down. Okay, I will. I felt like somebody was stepping on the bottom of my belly button for like 6 hours. Like just
Yeah, that's gonna be unpleasant.
I mean, I eventually got to water.
Somebody in the chat, I can't remember who it was, said that it looks like Amir looks like a young Giannis. I could see that.
Yeah,
like early Giannis. There's a little bit there.
he looks like a guy I used to coach, Perkins.
Yeah,
Bula. That's who he looked. He wrestled and played football at North. Arguably, well, for sure, top 4. One of the top 4 or 5 greatest tacklers I ever coached.
Yeah,
Perkins. He was unbelievable.
What'd he wrestle at?
Was he 60? Maybe.
Okay.
He's a guy.
So what, he play like defense back?
Oh yeah, he's a safety.
Yeah.
And he played. We were unbelievable. So he played with Markel Vaughn and Perkins and this guy Trayvon Ammons. But Bula was a guy like at practice, I like kind of control and stuff. He was a guy that if he occasionally just wanted to go do a backflip or something, I was like, oh, you go ahead. You go ahead and get that lower energy. I'll come back and see me for this walkthrough. Yeah, he was unbelievable.
Alex said, is the other guy Mike Vick? No, the other guy is not Mike Vick.
No, this is Roy Manning.
Is that the one I said looked a little bit like Andre Johnson?
Yes.
Yeah, he does a little bit.
Which I actually didn't kill you for.
Yeah, he looks a little bit like older Andre Johnson.
I didn't kill you for that. Where was the place? You don't have to give the shout out. Where was the place that had the giant Pop-Tart that looked just like a bag Pop-Tart?
Oh, yeah, there's a few of those locations now.
So D-Hop famously of Hurrdat 1.
I do love a homemade Pop-Tart.
Had a top 5 breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Man, I think I was not in that order, but I think he got everyone.
Yeah, 5 for 5 for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now he missed. There's some other ones I like.
Yeah, sure.
But I was certainly not gonna trip over the top 5. It was sensational. Yeah, that's a good place, Waltz. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Yeah, Walls is right.
That's a good spot.
So my wife at her job, she'll make some of these like little homemade Pop-Tarts too. They're like tiny because they're little just grab and goes. And when there's extra or whatever,
she's just probably using like excess dough.
They're so good. They're phenomenal.
Yeah. I love breakfast out, but that breakfast is the one thing that I enjoy making too. So
yeah,
there's always that tug of war.
I do like a good breakfast out, nice little brunch, breakfast or brunch.
Yeah, the thing that I miss most about my Twitter, which I'm about to start again here.
What's that?
Is I don't get my updates from Boyce about the sales.
Oh yeah.
How
long do you think it'll take you to?
But I know he has my phone number.
How long do you think it'll take you to get back to your anywhere?
I don't. So normal? I'm kind of waiting it out to see if they're going to give me back my Twitter or start another one.
Yeah.
I'll never get back to 60K.
Yeah. Oh, you might. You never know.
I mean, I doubt it.
You're pretty popular.
There's a lot.
It is a lot. Jack's a big breakfast guy.
I love breakfast.
I get tired.
Oh, I bet Jack can make a mean breakfast.
He feels like somebody that would call him Johnny Cakes.
Dang, Caleb's back, Shane. Look.
Oh, I
where has he been? Caleb, where have you been?
It's been a minute.
Now that used to be kind of like my low-key fave.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's a stud. He's good on social media too.
I was gonna say
I haven't been there. I do like the place. They took the recruits for breakfast, and I can't remember the name, but that was the one where I cried because I talked so much I didn't eat my steak. It got cold.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Coop was talking my ear off, and I was like, this steak is sensational for a breakfast steak. It wasn't some little sorry Denver. It was a strip.
Back in the day.
No, you know how they like to give you those little Denver steaks and stuff for
one,
breakfast?
Yeah.
No, this just was a strip.
Dude,
nope. Green Gateau barely has protein. That's like, if you want to eat clean, go to the Green Gateau.
Is that like a Michael Brunt's place?
Yes. Yes. Green Gateau has brunch, although Caleb just went there Saturday, so I feel bad. Literally just went there. Yeah, that's nope, that's not the place. They're okay though. They're okay, Jibs.
They're fine. I think they might be expanding too fast.
It's okay. Like if you like sweet stuff,
Here's my problem with some.
I'm more traditional.
Here's one of my problems with some of the newfangled breakfast places.
I don't need cinnamon strudel waffle.
Sometimes we're doing too much. Like I also like you can do all that.
Give me a good ham, a good bacon, a good sausage, good grits or potatoes, good form of egg. Maybe I put them all together. Like I don't need the
I need
peanut butter pancakes or
which like if you want to do that, that's cool. But make sure like give me like a basics part of the menu. Like just a little section over here. Like here we do the basics.
Okay, so there's another vote for the old Choo Choo House, huh?
Yeah, there's been a couple in there. I haven't been.
Okay.
I don't go out to eat in Lincoln a lot.
I don't either.
Like when I'm down there, it's like in and out. Like I gotta not in and out the restaurant, but like I get in, get out, do whatever I'm doing there.
Joe Good. Although he's like Micah. That dude can put salsa on anything. We make it, we buy it, we do homemade pico. There's store brands he like. There's probably 4 things of a type of salsa and 2 things of pico in our house right now. I was not traumatized, TK. Ding-a-ling. Shrimp and grits is fire.
Oh, I love shrimp and grits.
Fire.
He says, back when I was a full-on degenerate, a glass of Guinness at 8 a.m. and a shot of Jamo with an OJ back then. Oh, Jameson. Okay. Back in the day, I'd start my day even before workouts. That's aggressive, Heath. I'm going to be honest, man.
Is he joking me?
No, I don't think so.
Who drinks Guinness before you have half a brain, let alone at 8 a.m.?
And Jameson.
I don't know anything about Jameson.
Just a little shot of whiskey.
Oh, heck no.
Yeah. I know Heath fairly well. That I believe him. He had a he had an interesting stretch there for a while.
Heath?
Yeah.
Really?
Good dude. But like, yeah, he had
we're kindred spirits.
He had a bit of a misspent youth for a while.
Oh, I wasn't. Mine was more as an adult.
Yeah, I mean, I call youth like anything under 30.
Yeah.
Under 40.
Give myself a break.
No,
Jameson, huh? Huh.
Yeah, that's aggressive. I appreciate that he was still getting the workout in after.
Now, don't come for me. But is Jameson a good brand, or is it like the Smirnoff of vodka? It gives me McCormick Smirnoff tones.
Better than that, but not much. It's better than.
So what is it?
It's definitely better than McCormick's.
Well, don't say Tito's because that's pretty good for what it is.
It's I would say I don't like Jack Daniel's adjacent.
Yeah, I just wish I knew more.
It's probably closer to Smirnoff than McCormick.
Have you ever had Brickway?
I think
I think Brickway's pretty good, and it's a fantastic price point for what it is.
Todd says Jameson's a good Irish whiskey, so maybe I'm underselling it.
Yeah, I don't know. I know whiskey and bourbon guys, like they're particular, so I'm not even going to pretend to know what I'm talking about.
He says that was my bartender life.
A-Train said it's solid. And you know A-Train's nuts.
It's sober, full-on dad mode now. He says it's the industry people's whiskey of choice. Okay.
You got to ask, like, you know who's kind of crazy?
Who?
Ask Daniel.
Oh, he would know. Yeah.
Oh, it's above Tito's compared to vodka. Okay, JR.
So I was on the same page as like TJ. Like it's a mid-grade Irish whiskey is how I understand it. But I don't drink a lot of whiskey either, so I'll defer. I'll defer to the whiskey.
I was trying to find a way to make another $10 before we got to
Brent.
Yeah. Do you want to do the basketball game now, or you want to do it later?
Yeah, we can do it now. I don't think it'll take super long time.
Are you sure?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So you want all 7?
Yeah. Give me. We're gonna blind rank random NCAA champions.
All right. You guys can play along. This is just interesting on the heels of how so many teams are getting beat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, are these great teams? Where will they rank? Last week I was talking about the greatest teams to never win it, and it was amazingly star-studded with a lot of dookies.
Okay. You had 15 Kentucky in there too.
Yeah.
All right. I've got my 1 to 7. I'm ready to go.
All right. Your 1995 NCAA champions.
UCLA Bruins.
They consisted of George Zedek,
Ed O'Bannon,
Toby Bailey, Tyus Edney, and Charles O'Bannon. Where does the 1995 UCLA Bruins go?
Is that Jim Herrick?
Correct.
So this is the first championship game I remember watching.
Does that seem like a good team? Do you remember how good Toby Bailey was supposed to be? Oh, you might not.
I don't really. I remember Ed O'Bannon and Tyus Edney. Those are the guys I remember from that team. I'll be honest, that doesn't strike me. I know they beat what was considered a very good Arkansas team coming off the 94. I don't consider that a particularly good team. I think I'm going to put them 6.
6 for the 95 UCLA Bruins.
I think so. Maybe that's low, but I'm going to go 6.
I present to you.
At 5. I want them at 5. Give me 5. Sorry.
Jiminy Christmas, Ravi.
I know. Give me 5. I just started thinking of some other ones that might be worse that you might put. So are these all 90s?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, definitely 5. Nope. All right.
I give you one Queth Dwaney, Craig Forth, Hakeem Warwick, Jerry McNamara,
2003 Syracuse,
Carmelo Anthony, 2003 Syracuse, Queth Dwaney, Carmelo Anthony, Hakeem Warwick, Craig Forth, Jerry McNamara.
So Hakeem Warwick ended up being a really, really good player. Obviously, Melo is Melo, and Jerry McNamara, really good college player. I'm gonna put them 4th.
2003 Qs go 4th.
Yeah.
Do you feel good so far?
Not at all.
Are you nervous?
Not even a little bit. I feel terrible.
7's a lot. I mean, that's pretty ballsy on your part.
I feel awful here. Yeah, let's do it.
Now, this team won a title.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep. This is 93 Carolina. Oh, okay.
Darnell Jackson.
Okay.
Russell Robinson. Daryl Arthur.
This is
Brandon Rush. Mario
Kansas.
Chalmers. 2008 Kansas.
Yeah, that's going to be 6. That's not a good team.
2008. I need another writing utensil.
You know what's funny is I think the 2 Bill Self title teams are.
And don't come at me with some Sharon Collins. He came off the bench.
Those are 2 of the.
Only one that would probably know that off the top would be
Jacob.
Ben.
Out of like some of the Bill Self teams, the 2 that have won titles are not nearly his most impressive in terms of just teams.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
I give to you Ken Biley, Dwight Stewart, Scotty Thurman, Corey Beck, Corliss Williamson.
So that's 94 Arkansas.
That is correct.
I don't want to put them 3, but they're probably if you give me 2014 UConn, they have to go 7.
I'm not going to give you 2014 UConn.
You're not?
I am not.
Okay. I don't feel good here, but I'm going to put them 7 because they're not a top 3.
Wow. Okay.
I don't listen. They should be above 95 UCLA, but I don't have a good spot for them. I'm not putting them 3. If you're not lying to me and 2014 UConn's not on here because that's what I was saving one of the bottom 2 spots for.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Andre Hudson, AJ Granger, Charlie Bell, Morris Peterson.
This is 2000 Michigan State.
Mateen Cleaves.
I can go 3. I don't feel terrible about 3 there. That's a good team.
2000 MSU.
I mean, Charlie Bell, Mo Peterson, Mateen Cleaves. That's a good team.
You're going to be happy with your selection. This is extremely impressive.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Now, this team is much better than I think they're talked about. They were incredible.
Is it 2018 Villanova?
It is not.
Okay.
I give to you A.J. Bramlett, Bennett Davison, Miles Simon, Michael Dickerson.
This is 1997 Arizona.
Mike Bibby.
I'll go 2 there. I feel good about that team. That's a really good team.
97 Arizona goes 2. That's a good team.
That's a really good team. Miles Simon was incredible. And obviously Bibby is great, but like Miles Simon was really good.
Dude, they gave Carolina fits.
That was a really good team.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
You did okay.
They beat a good Kentucky team that year too.
I think you did okay.
Okay, what do we got?
I give to you Mark Vital.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually Vital. Flo Thamba.
Mo Bamba? No, I'm sorry.
Maceo Teague.
Okay.
Jared Butler. Davion Mitchell.
This is the Baylor team. What, 2021?
2021.
That Baylor team was a monster.
They crushed college basketball. Mark Vital, Flo Thamba, Maceo Teague, Jared Butler, Davion Mitchell.
Yeah, there's nobody I'd put ahead of them on this list. There's nobody I'd put ahead of them.
2021 Baylor Ghosts. That was well played.
I'd probably put, if I had to change anything, I'd probably put Arkansas 5, UCLA 6, Kansas 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd basically.
Who's the worst team to win a title on this list?
2008 Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah. 2008 Kansas would be. I thought you were saving 2014 UConn. So I saved 7 open for them because that team was terrible.
That 97 Arizona team, when you go back,
really
it's
good.
like
really
VODs.
Yeah.
And I was mad about that season.
Yeah.
Because that 97.
That was a good Carolina team.
They were sensational.
Yeah. That was a really good Carolina team.
And they got worked.
I'm actually pretty pleased. Like I said, I would shift down Arkansas. I'd put Arkansas at 5.
I
UCLA
watched them
6.
get their doors blown off in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah. That Arizona team was really good. Mike Bibby was sensational.
Dude, he's nuts. I think it's the juice, but
dude, he is crazy looking now. Is he still at Sac State?
Yeah,
he's crazy looking now.
You think they make the jump safely?
You know, that's something we're going to talk about at some points. We have talked about them and NDSU, but I don't know. We're in a real danger zone with some of these teams making these decisions. Like remember way back when we talked about private equity?
Yeah.
These are some of the teams that are going to end up taking on private equity. Maybe not these two specifically, but these types.
Sac State is pretty
they're papered up. I know that. But like these types of teams that are trying to make these jumps, like the MAC does nothing for you. And it's an expensive move.
Were you surprised to see Hammock make the jump to Seattle?
Not really.
Yeah, I got to ask DJ what he thought.
Like I get it. Like I get it. It sort of reminded me of the Kent State coach that went to be the OC at Colorado. Like he probably felt like he had a better shot at getting to his career goals by stepping down as a head coach and going to somewhere more prominent as an assistant. I get it. Like the MAC's a tough place to live, especially in like this like climate of college football. I don't know, man. The MAC is a tough place to live. I don't blame anybody for that.
It's a gutsy move.
The Sac State thing is wild though, and we'll get to that at some point probably in the next few weeks as we get into spring football and stuff. But I think you got to be real careful. And I understand Sacramento State has more resources than most teams in this position, but how long do those resources last? Because the MAC's not bringing anything to the table there. And what's the end game of being in the MAC? Like, what's better about being in the MAC than being in the FCS? Because right now, that level of play is second-class citizens in the FBS anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like, what's the end game here? Are you hoping to be the one that's included? Because that's not a good place to be either.
Well, so I'm just going back. Sorry. The 2011-2012 Kentucky team with AD and MKG, because they won it in 11.
Yes. And AD won a title.
He was MOP.
And I
thought he was one and done though.
He was. AD only played 1 year.
Yeah, but they won. So wait, maybe Ross is misunderstanding. So this is the best team to not win. That Kentucky team, AD won a title.
AD won a title. He was the most outstanding player in the tournament.
And he did it going like 11-10.
Yeah, I distinctly remember.
Remember that? I think he was like an 11-10 guy in that.
He didn't. I mean, for his college career, he's under like 13.
Well, so remember, was that me and Jacob that got into that knockdown drag out about KD scoring or AD scoring prowess and college? What comp were we giving him?
So that was the conversation we were talking about.
I was texting at like 6 a.m. over this.
So we had this conversation at the bar a little bit too, because we were talking about guys that you watched in high school that you weren't necessarily sure about their offensive games translating. And I think he brought up AD.
Carol is a child.
But I'll be honest, like I watched AD. What did Carol say?
Childish.
That's funny. I remember watching AD and just being like, I mean, maybe he's Bill Russell. I don't know how much he's going to score.
Yeah, and I think Jacob got on me about his high school shooting prowess, and I was like, dude, this is in my wheelhouse. Let me give you the data. Like,
yeah. I mean, objectively, when he came into the league, he was one of the worst jump shooters.
Do you know who I think we were talking about?
Was it Flag?
Might have been Flag.
I think it was Cooper Flag. That's who I thought it was. It was either Flag or Boozer, or maybe a little bit of both.
Might have been Flag.
But I think Flag was definitely in the conversation.
Yeah, you like how he pulled up to the table yesterday or the other day. And he's like, "How you feeling about Cooper Flag now?" It's like, damn, Jacob.
He did go for 14 a game, but for the season. In the tournament, it was like 11 or 12.
Yeah, it's like
he did have almost 5 blocks a game.
Can you imagine if a great college player now only scored 14? I mean, Vince Carter was low teens.
Yeah, but that was also you're like, well, how much is he being held?
I need
back?
a little more Stackhouse in him.
I meant like how much is he being held back by like circumstances and system and things like that. But you know what I think the best stat of Anthony Davis's college career was?
What?
He played all 40 games.
Those were the days.
30,
See, that's why DP
30,
is saving himself because he's seen what's happening in street clothes.
32 minutes a night. What's happening in street clothes is he's somewhere north about 400 million in career earnings. So yeah, I think DP should be so lucky.
I saw his house in LA that he's trying to sell.
I think he's doing just fine.
Yeah, it's like 28 mil. I have no idea who you're selling that to.
In LA, at least you got a shot. It's not like Matt Stafford trying to sell his mansion in Detroit. Like, who's buying that? We'll be right back. We got Brent SOBLESKI from Bleacher Report coming up next here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
You guys pass the ball really well and run good stuff. So, because there's such great movement, you might help for a second, and there he is. He's going off something, or you guys have some really good passers that get him shots, and he doesn't need much time to get them off. I think he does a great job moving without the ball, but I also think, as I always tell our guys, when you play against offense that have multiple actions, it requires multiple efforts and dealing with screens, and that's hard. And that happened today. We ran in some screens. We didn't have quick enough switch outs, and we've had trouble guarding good 3-point shooters all year long, and you saw that today. He's a very good player, and he's in the perfect system for his game.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Brent SOBLESKI from Bleacher Report. Brent, how are we doing? Can you hear us? Can we hear you?
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Back by popular demand. I'm like, we've been asking since like last week, so I was all pumped, and then I got pump faked yesterday, and I was like, I guess we'll have to wait another day. How you been, bud?
I'm doing well. We sit here and get to enjoy a little bit of football discussion with you guys, and as soon as I'm done, I'm hitting the road for Indianapolis for the NFL Combine.
That's the number one reason. What did we say last week? We're like, God, who can do combines? Who can do draft? We're just like looking for this multi-talent. And then Ravi got on this whole quarterback thing, and we're like, oh, God, well, Brett, we could kill all sorts of birds with one stone. So It's
I
tough.
appreciate it. I don't know about the talented part, but I could talk about multiple things. My initials are BS for a reason, and that's probably why I am where I am.
Brett, I want to start with the 99 quarterbacks because I'll be honest. I saw this on Bleacher Report. I'm going through the list, and right off the bat, I'm just like, what the hell are we doing? But hear me out, because when the first name on a best quarterbacks of all time list is Ryan Tannehill, I'm just like, I'm sorry, what? But then I go through the list, right? And I go, my God, the list is probably right. The quarterback play is just this bad. Did you have it? Like, how did you, as the list is being put together, I don't know if you were part of it or not, or just consumed it later, but like, as you are going through this list, what were your realizations about the overall quarterback play in the history of the league?
Well, let me talk about the process first. It involved literally a dozen people within Bleacher Report, including myself. We all voted separately. The votes were tallied, and then the cumulative results are what you guys saw in the final piece. I wrote all of the quarterbacks basically pre-1980 because I'm the oldest analyst on the team. So I had that pleasure of doing that, which was actually wonderful. I enjoyed it so much just because you went back and relearned about players that not that you've forgotten, but just they're not placed in the same level as what we're used to in today's game, and really probably should be in multiple different cases. So I will say this as well. I was born in 1980, so I wrote all these guys pre-1980. I had my father-in-law sit down with me and make sure that I was not misremembering on certain quarterbacks and how good they were in the 60s and 70s when he was able to watch them. So I even got a little help along the way to try to do best rank each of these quarterbacks. Now, to your question, you're absolutely right. And to a man, on everyone who voted, we realized, my God, the dearth of quarterback talent throughout the history of the game is amazing. Once you got past like the 40 to 50 range, you were struggling. You were struggling, gentlemen, and really to name who these top quarterbacks were. Now, some of it has to do, obviously, when they played. You're trying to evaluate certain players who played in the 30s and 40s and compare them to today's NFL, which is a completely different game. So you have to do that as well. But I think it was a fascinating process. I loved how it turned out. I think everyone enjoyed it for the most part, other than your normal internet trolls. And it's something I think that might become a regular thing within Bleacher Report because it was so successful.
Yeah, you guys are really, really, I think lists like put you guys on the map the first start, which was always fascinating. I do have the only bone that I would pick, not only, but like the one that was the most glaring, I'll start right at the end, right? With Tannehill, and I'm like, currently, I think you got to go with Baker. Like, there was just a couple of guys other than Tannehill. You got to walk me through the Tannehill selection.
Well, Baker Mayfield was on the list. He didn't, it was up to the individual how he ranked. And then, like I said, the cumulative score, he was on mine. So that to give you an idea of the way it shook out. I think with Tannehill, and one of the things we were told from editorial perspective is trying to not only evaluate from era, but also current, right? These guys' careers aren't complete. And it's difficult sometimes to assess when you're not exactly sure which way things are going to go. Now, let me provide you an example. The published date would have been different had the Rams made the Super Bowl. Why would it have been different? Because if Matthew Stafford won another Super Bowl, clearly he would have been in a different or different tier than where he ended up. And I think that says a lot about the process and how we looked at it, right? Where it's an ever-evolving thing. And so with some of the modern-day quarterbacks, you didn't want to over-evaluate them. And by modern, I mean currently playing. You didn't want to over-evaluate them while trying to place them in the context of history. So, like for me, an example I would give is I was very, very high on Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's not even 30 years old yet, right? But to me, he is such a unicorn. It's revolutionized the way we evaluate the game. I had to put him near the top of my list. And same thing with Patrick Mahomes, right? To me, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback of all time. I don't think he's the best quarterback ever because we haven't seen his entire career yet. But his ability and the way we change the position entirely based on how he plays deserves the credit based on his just overall ability. So that's kind of the way you're kind of looking at it. Like, I love Baker Mayfield. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL. I had him rated, but at the same time, you just don't know because he's still very early in his career, relatively speaking.
Can I? We don't have to legislate the whole list. I was fascinated by it. But you brought up Matthew Stafford, and so I'm looking through here, and I'm trying to find like one-time Super Bowl champions, kind of similar statistical profiles and games and things like that. Could I make the argument to you that Steve Young and Matthew Stafford should be ranked higher than Brett Favre?
For me, no. Well, let me give you a glimpse in the background. The head of the NFL department, him and I got in a heated debate on this subject, and because he believes Eli Manning was wronged in where he was placed, right? Mm-hmm. Because of 2 Super Bowl and 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and that's wonderful. And yes, the whole point is to win the game, right? That's what Herm Edwards taught us. But at the same time, I was looking at it as how you played the position, particularly during your era, and how you influenced the game. So he was upset because Dan Fouts came in higher than Eli Manning. I think Eli Manning is absolutely worthy of being a high quarterback in the all-time history, but Dan Fouts was a better quarterback at playing the position, the way he was able to throw the ball, the way he was able to orchestrate the Coryell offense, how influential that was from the 70s going into the 80s, and still to this day is a big part of the vertical passing game in the NFL. So those types of things very much came under fire during this discussion. And that's the example I can give you because it's a conversation I had with the head of our NFL department, because I don't place winning above everything else. I don't. Mm-hmm. Football is the ultimate team sport, period. I think quarterback wins and losses are kind of dumb, to be quite frank with you. I get they're the most influential position in all of sports in that they have a greater effect on the game than any other position, but they're not the only position. You're not a pitcher standing on a mound, right? You are a guy that has to work in the orchestration with 10 other men on the field in sync and be efficient. And that, to me, that's the way I looked at this process.
Let me ask you something. How do you sort? You just said something interesting, and I brought him up on a humbug last week or week before last, as he was talking about inductions into the Hall of Fame. How do you parse through, like, you talked about not really wins, kind of the playing the position. How do you parse through like a Warren Moon versus like a Dan Fouts?
I think it's difficult in 2 ways. One, I just mentioned why I thought Fouts was rated where he was. And in certain ways, Warren Moon is more influential, right? As one of the first real African-American quarterbacks to break that glass ceiling, to put up the numbers he did, to orchestrate the run and shoot offense, to play into his 40s at a relatively high level, which now is commonplace or relatively common, was not at the time, right? Mm-hmm. Not to mention he started his career in the CFL. He had to go through all these obstacles. So, I didn't dock anyone if they hadn't won a Super Bowl. I don't think that's entirely their fault. I don't think it's Warren's fault. I don't think it's Dan's fault. And when I say Dan, I mean Fouts and Marino, by the way. And by the way, that was my immediate comeback when I was asked why Dan Fouts is better than Eli Manning, and his response was, well, he wins. Well, Dan Marino didn't win, so is Eli Manning a better quarterback than Dan Marino? No one's going to argue that. No one in the history of the NFL is going to argue that. So, again, influence was very, very big for me. I think it was very, very big in this overall argument for everyone. And yes, winning was taken into account. Yes, Super Bowls were taken into account, but it wasn't the overlying factor to really determine who was the best quarterback all time, even though Tom Brady was at the top.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to be real careful with the Super Bowl things because, like, if Peyton Manning doesn't ride Brock Osweiler's coattails to a second Super Bowl, then you're like, is Eli a better Manning? Like, is he like? And nobody believes that, right? Like, no one believes that.
Wow,
to be true.
you really had to get that in, the riding of the coattails. Huh?
I was trying to decide if I wanted to say if he noodle armed his way to the second Super Bowl.
He did, though. He did, right? And I honestly wrote the Peyton Manning section, and because they threw me a bone on one of the top guys, and what I wrote was cerebrally, he changed the game. Like the way quarterback is played today is because of Peyton Manning, and what he did during that second Super Bowl run is one of the most amazing feats we've ever seen, because physically he couldn't do it anymore. He will tell you he can't feel his fingertips those last 2 or 3 seasons in Denver. But he was so good pre and post snap, knowing where to go to ball all times and putting his offense in the right play every single time. It was just enough for them to win a Super Bowl, which speaks to his greatness.
You want to move on to?
Yeah, I'm good. But I don't talk quarterbacks anyway, since we're talking about the draft.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So Ravi and I have a wager. And now, full disclosure, Brett, I coach at his high school, very, very familiar with this player. But I bet Ravi that he would be the second round pick, not the second quarterback off the board.
Because I let you choose. I let you choose what you wanted.
Second round pick, and I get it. Some of it may hinge on Ty Simpson. But walk me through kind of this Ty Simpson, Cole Payton kind of discussion for the next quarterback to potentially come off the board after Mendoza.
And then the third name I would throw in there, particularly coming off the Senior Bowl, would be Garrett Nussmeier, right?
Yeah. I hope we know too much about him. But
I'm not arguing. Look, let's get the major overlying argument out of the way. This is a one quarterback race, right? It's Fernando Mendoza, then everybody else. We may not see a second first round quarterback, and more likely it's going to be day 2 where multiple guys will be coming off the board. Now,
if the Steelers don't take Ty Simpson, I'm good.
Again, one of my NFL editors feels exactly the same way. So looking at it, Simpson and Nussmeier, what's interesting about their evaluation is their preparedness for the NFL, right? Physically, they are not the most gifted quarterbacks. Simpson, when he is operating, and I'm not trying to put him on this level, but I'm just trying to provide a mental picture for people that are listening, has Joe Burrow-like qualities. And by that, I mean he throws with anticipation. He knows where to go with the ball. He makes good post-snap reads. He works comfortably from the pocket. He knows how to climb. He knows how to do the things to be your basic NFL quarterback to win from the pocket. Again, not Burrow level. I'm just trying to provide a little bit of a glimpse into why you would even consider him in the first round. Nussmeier he's been bred to be an NFL quarterback, gentlemen. I know he's only like 6'1", 210 pounds, and he doesn't have the biggest arm, but he knows the game and prepares for the game unlike anyone in this class, just because his dad's been an NFL coach for as long as he has, right? An NFL offensive coordinator, NFL quarterbacks coach. He understands the game, and he has a great competitive fire. So I like that about Nussmeier. And the reason their names have become more interesting, at least in the past month, is we've come to find out more about their injuries that they played through this year. It wasn't mentioned much during the season, and we wondered why they kind of went off the rails, particularly late in the year. Nussmeier even being benched at one point. Simpson effectively being benched after Indiana just trashed that Alabama offense. But now knowing that Simpson was dealing with a severe oblique injury, that was got Nussmeier and Simpson. Yeah. And then with Simpson as well being injured, now how do you, where's the medical evaluations? And that's what will be absolutely important with the NFL Combine and how these medical evaluations go. But to your point, I mentioned the Senior Bowl. And if you want to pick the one quarterback that threw the ball better on a day-by-day basis in Mobile, it was Cole Payton, right? I think he opened the most eyes. The concern you have coming out of North Dakota State, and I know Tim Polasek, their offensive.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, he's a great head coach, former offensive coordinators. He's coached at Division I level at Iowa and Wyoming, so he knows his stuff. But there's a very specific tradition in North Dakota State, and you have to evaluate based on that tradition, and that's where it becomes difficult. It's not that these guys aren't incapable of doing the things that are asked of an NFL quarterback. They're just not asked to do so on a regular basis. So to give you an example, I don't know, one of our scouts that I work with on an everyday basis, Brandon Thorne. You guys know Brandon, the offensive line evaluator? He can't stand evaluating North Dakota State from the perspective, because you're not getting true dropbacks on a regular basis, right? So you're not getting your kick slides from your offensive tackles to want to know if they're capable of doing it on the NFL on a regular basis.
They had to drive him nuts.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. And even though he loved players like Gray Zabel is a great example, you just don't know until you put him in that position. Well, the quarterbacks is similar, as we saw with Trey Lance, in how they're going to really absorb the entirety of an NFL offense. I think Cole Payton has as much upside as anyone not named Fernando Mendoza in this class. And I think he has a fantastic arm. He clearly a very competitive kid. He went to Mobile and didn't blink. And I love that. But at the same time, you have to understand it's going to be a process with him. But I will agree with you that a great week in Indianapolis, a great pro day, and he's every bit in that conversation as potentially QB2.
I'm just telling you, he will blow your mind athletically with his testing, his flexibility, his strength, his speed, his twitchiness. He's about as sturdy a quick twitch guy because he has these huge legs. Like, he looks like a tight end, but he's extremely bendy. He comes back to train here in Omaha, and his hip flexion and ankle dexterity, right? It's through the roof. He's pretty freaky. Like, I can't wait till scouts get a chance to see his physical prowess up close. He's in the freak category. I'm gonna say that and not take all the homer out of it. He is you're gonna be blown away.
Yeah, he and Taylor Green could put on a show if they do entire workouts. I think that they would be fun. Now, but I do have two questions about Cole, and I'm sorry.
Injuries, right?
Well, injuries, yes, but I was going to go a little more minute. Watching him closely in Mobile, he has a little bit of elongated release, particularly when he's trying to drive outside the numbers, and that's going to be picked apart by NFL scouts. And the other thing is, and this is more of a more broad question, are we necessarily still emphasizing athleticism as much today as we were 2-3 years ago? Right?
I agree. We're back to accuracy.
Yes. The Anthony Richardson experiment kind of blew up in everyone's face. Yeah. Everyone thought he had the potential to be an excellent quarterback. And you know what? He could still be. He's a very young man, and he had to learn how to be an NFL quarterback. But that's really it, right? It's all mental. If you have the physical tools and you're able to pair them with the mental tools, you can be amazing. But if you're going and relying on the physical tools, it gives you a low or high floor, but it also requires time to develop. And when in today's NFL, and I'm not trying to be snarky here, it stands for not for long, as Jerry Glanville taught us, right? And you don't have time to develop quarterbacks over 3, 4, 5 years anymore. It's just the nature of the beast. Look at who just won the Super Bowl at quarterback, right? If you don't win, your coach is gone, your general manager gone, you're likely gone, and you're trying to start somewhere else. And that's just the way it is.
So you brought up, I'm glad you brought up Sam Darnold and winning the Super Bowl, because within this context of the quarterbacks in this draft, which nobody's really in love with, we like Mendoza. I don't know.
I don't even like Mendoza, but
not as a number one. I don't either, but like, he's the only one that I think everybody agrees is a first round pick. With the, you bring up Anthony Richardson, who very likely is available. Daniel Jones, I know they're working on the extension, but is technically a free agent. Kyler Murray, Mac Jones, like, having just watched Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl, how much do you think that context, in addition to the kind of class of guys that can be available, impacts what we see and who's taken in the draft in the first few rounds?
I think it's the question of the offseason. I think you just hit the nail on the head. And first of all, let me say this, because I've been screaming this on social media, feels like for 10 years. Situation matters, situation matters, situation matters, right? Chad Brinker, who I played against in high school, is now front office executive for Tennessee Titans, a longtime scout with the Green Bay Packers. I sat down with him years ago, and he looked at me and goes, Sobo, I don't know how any of these guys are successful. There's so many mitigating factors in their lives that football's almost secondary at points, right? You're moving into a new city. You're potentially moving a family. Maybe you have kids. You have to worry about school. You're getting new coaching staff, new player, new teammates, new systems. It's a lot. And if you go to certain franchises that haven't been successful over time and don't have that secret recipe to bring you along properly, it's a recipe for disaster. It absolutely is. And so when you see Sam Darnold finally have the light go on because he worked with Kyle Shanahan and then O'Connell in Minnesota, and you have Baker Mayfield finally kind of realize, mature a little bit and take over at Tampa Bay and earn everything he has done. Now, Daniel Jones, right, gets with Shane Steichen. They look like a match made in heaven. This is what you should be looking for. It's not just about taking the talent. It's about having a plan for success. And there are multiple examples this offseason. I think teams can take that blueprint and potentially find their quarterback, a sub-30 quarterback, whether it's Malik Willis, a Mac Jones, a Davis Mills, maybe Tua, if you put him in the right situation, maybe Kyler Murray in the right situation. And you want to make that investment, which may not be as much initially, but get a better return on your investment. And I think a lot of teams in the NFL, look, we know there's more than one team that needs a starting quarterback. Only one team's going to select Mendoza, and it's going to be the Las Vegas Raiders. So what other direction are teams going to go? And I think that right there, the young veterans who get a second chance after quote unquote busting at their previous stop after being high round selections is really the path a lot of teams are going to take.
So I've seen him up close, and I paid attention to kind of his demeanor. We were on the same recruiting trip at Iowa, and before he kind of shunned Iowa and went to Bama, I just was doing my homework, and I watched his college career. Then he was going to come back to Iowa. Then he went back to Bama, and he's kind of this boomer bust guy. But he's very, very polarizing. But I want to put him in the same discussion I'm talking about Caden Proctor with another guy that maybe some people think he's more of a sure thing. I think the offense in which he's used will matter a ton, especially at his position. Who do you think can make more of a move or more of a fall? Kenyon Sadiq or Caden Proctor?
The variance for Caden Proctor is much greater, right? Sadiq, I love. I mean, you talk about your yearly man crushes, right? You could ask anyone that works on our Bleacher Report scouting department staff. I'm literally sending clips of Sadiq just burying dudes as a blocker. I don't even care if he can catch the football. I know he's athletic.
So the offense does matter for him, though.
So okay, you're right.
As a TE1.
Yeah, you're right. I can't argue that. I think your floor with him is much higher than Proctor. But I will say this about Proctor, right? We heard through the grapevine that about halfway through the season, because anyone who watched him closely saw he struggled to start the year, right? He did not play to the caliber of what many thought was a top 5, top 10 prospect, and kind of saw his draft stock start to dip. What we had heard, and again, this is secondhand knowledge, is he got serious about his nutrition and working out and losing a few pounds, right? Everyone talked about him being this gargantuan left tackle at 6'7", 366, but about halfway through the season, he was probably playing closer to 340, 345. And, not surprisingly, he played better over the second half and really started to look like the prospect we all expected. So anytime you have these gargantuan offensive tackles, nutrition, workout regimen, dedication, these are always things that are going to come to the forefront. And he has the ability to be an elite left tackle or even a guard. In today's NFL, they don't care if you're 6'6", 6'7", 350. They might put you a guard and just move people. So there's huge upside there. It's really up to Caden to show up and put in the work and really live up to that immense potential he has.
I want to ask you about a couple of Nebraska guys before we let you go here. First and foremost, what are your thoughts on Emmett Johnson, and where does he fall for you?
RB3 on our board. He is a top 42 prospect, not quite top 40, but top 42. He's someone we got onto late because didn't expect necessarily for him to have. I know he's a good running back, but just not someone we expected to be among the top running backs, because you look, the thing with the scouting process is you have certain names you have to hit very early in the process, and then you have to keep cycling through. And so he was a guy we came on late, but I know our position scout for running backs, Dane Parson, absolutely fell in love with him and his natural running ability, how fluid he is. I call him swivel hips. I think that's where you can tell a running back.
Oh, that's a great call.
To me, that's where a running back really succeeds, right? It's not necessarily 40-yard dash speed. It's his ability to move in small areas and to make defenders miss. And I think he has that, and he's a joy to watch. So for us, early day 2 pick all day long as RB3.
All right. Let me go rapid fire here with you real quick.
Okay.
Did you want to follow?
Yeah, one more on
sorry.
Nebraska real
I'm
quick
sorry.
here is what am I missing on the Sierra Wright eval? Because I don't see him basically anywhere, but all year long, either Big Ten teams weren't throwing at him or, you know, he's holding Mekhi Lemon to his lowest yardage total of the season. Like, what am I – it sounded like he played well at either the Shrine Bowl or Senior Bowl. I get him confused. What am I missing there?
Well, in our case, we don't have a grade on him yet, so we're right there with you.
Okay.
No, and it's one of those things where it's not – I'm not trying to, push off your question. It's just simply a matter of manpower and how much time we have. Now, I believe he was at the Shrine Bowl. We did not have anyone at Shrine Bowl. We had people at the Senior Bowl. I can't remember if he came up to the Senior Bowl for a couple of days, so I apologize for that. But at the same time, it's one of those things where, again, it's a player you're not necessarily expecting to be near the top, so you push him to the back of your list as you're working through it, and then you catch up as you go along, particularly when you get to this point in the process. So it's I think right now we don't have him graded. So it's, I'll have to get back to you on that one. So I'm copping out just a little bit.
That's all right.
I'm gonna play the long game, not necessarily the long game. Who you could see having the better career, and I'll give you guys similar positions. So the comps I'm hoping will be relatively fluid. Ready?
Yes.
Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles.
I think Sonny Styles is a better football player.
I do too.
Today, right? He's a guy that can step in as a rookie and likely have the green dot on a defense. His play, particularly in the semifinal game where he was playing downhill like an absolute demon, was unbelievable. Arvell Reese is obviously many are banking on his upside, and the upside to some degree, and this is conversations we've had behind the scenes over and over and over again. We're trying to make him out to be Abdul Carter.
It's hard as an off-ball guy.
Exactly. That's the thing, right? Abdul Carter played off-ball, but he spent his entire final season on campus as an edge, and he dominated. And not only did he dominate, he got hurt and then played even better in the biggest games of the season. So that's made him into a top 3 pick. Arvell Reese is being positioned as a potential top 3 pick, and we don't know. And this is what bothers me about Arvell Reese. And some of it's schematically. I'm not trying to place the entire blame on him. Part of it's Matt Patricia. But he no-showed the 2 biggest games of the year for Ohio State. Now, he made a few tackles and plays, but he was not the dominant force you expect of a top 3 to 5 prospect. He's 6th on our board, actually. And yet we have these conversations constantly. Well, Ruben Bain probably shouldn't be a top 3 pick because he has short arms. Have you watched the guy play? Yeah. I mean, seriously.
I'm over that.
Thank you.
He might be the most surefire thing in the draft.
Dude, I've been pounding the table about, like, what are we talking about with Ruben Bain? Like, watch that guy play football.
Well, you guys remember Melvin Ingram, almost the same body type,
yep.
Right? And so, yeah, I know the teams have, they have guardrails for what they want in their particular defensive lineman, particularly long and lean when it comes to an edge. But, geez, when you watch Bain,
back is incredible. He's explosive.
It's explosive, right? I saw him line up as a 3 tech and rock a 350-pound guard. And when I mean rock, put him on his heels and almost in the air. And
not in a 2, he's in a 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So you're going to move him up and down the line of scrimmage. He is everything you want in a top pick because he produced. He has the athletic profile. He may not have the length, but he is, to me, is absolutely worth a top 3 selection all day long and probably should be the number 2 overall pick in the New York Jets.
This is fascinating. This might not be rapid fire, but I love it. C.J. Allen or Anthony Hill Jr.?
C.J. Allen, I think he's a better overall pure linebacker, particularly working in space. Hill's interesting just because he was very much in the same boat as Arvell Reese entering this year. I don't know if you guys remember that conversation about how he was supposed to play off the edge a lot more, and then we just never saw it. So I think he took a little bit of a hit as a result, but I just like Allen more as the way he plays the position and led that Bulldogs defense.
McNeil Warren or Caleb Downs?
Oh, Caleb Downs, number 1 overall prospect for us, and it's not even close. McNeil Warren.
First disagreement.
Okay, all right. This was a conversation we had, right? And we've had Caleb Downs as our number 1 safety all year long. or not even number one safety, our number one overall prospect. But early in the Ohio State season, we're like, man, Downs isn't making any impact plays. But then we come to realize he didn't need to. They were so good along the front seven. But when those games mattered, when they were against Indiana, when they were playing the big games late, who was flashing constantly? It's Caleb Downs. And while he's not Sean Taylor, don't get me wrong, when you think of a number one overall safety going that high, you're talking basically Sean Taylor. And if you want to go back even further, if you're older, Eric Turner, right? Guys that are just physically intimidating and dominant. He's not that, but he's so smart and versatile. I think he can be a day one leader of a defense.
Shoot, ET might be a Sam in today's football.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
All right. Casey Concepcion or Omar Cooper Jr.?
Oh, I love them both. Two of my favorite players in the class, but we have Concepcion rated higher. I think Concepcion could very well be the best wide receiver in his class when it's all said and done, because he wins the way today's NFL game is predicated.
He can play anywhere, and he's great after the catch.
Bingo. And he wins quickly. He has a good route release, and he has that short area quickness to really separate immediately for a quarterback to get him open. And when he gets the ball, then he's off to the races. So, and then he also adds value as a returner. So that's always beneficial.
Now, I'm going to preface this. I should just get your gut. All right. I'm going to get your gut reaction, and I'm going to explain to you my thought process if you're interested. Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. Oh,
Love is a top 5 prospect for us. And I think he and we believe he has the potential to be a true modern running back. Price is RB2 for us. So I'm going to lean Price or Love just because that's the way our department has it. But I can see an argument the other way.
Do you know why I argue the other way?
Why is that?
He's the better runner. He's not as talented. So hear my heart. He's not as explosive. He's not as physically gifted, but he's the better natural runner between the two. I don't know which one is going to be more important for the team that they go to, but Price is the better natural runner.
I agree with that concept, and I know that sounds. There's probably people ridiculous.
I know,
I think it's ridiculous.
Out first, but I got guys there. I don't know. Price is really good.
Well, let me give you an example. Last year, if we take out measurements, college, athletic testing, do you know who my favorite pure runner was in last year's class?
I hope it's mine because it was Woody Marks from USC.
He was up there, but I liked Kyle Monongai from Rutgers.
And he had
excellent. So I agree with you. We look sometimes at things that are unimportant to the running back position when it comes down to just running the football. How fluid are you? How can you make men miss in small areas? How far ahead do you see when you're getting past the first guy into the second and third levels? Things like that, and just the fluidity in your ankle flexion, in your hips, and your ability to move between the tackles specifically. So I agree with that. The only reason I stuck with Love in this case is because I'm not saying he's Bijan Robinson, because he's a little bit bigger, more physical back, but at the same time, you can utilize him in the pass game, right? And so I would love to see him somewhere like the Saints, where he can learn a year under Alvin Kamara after what he's done for a decade, and then just utilize him in that same fashion. So I agree with you in essence, just based on play styles.
I know you don't have time to go back and watch. I'm not kidding you. I love the intricacies in the run game, and I'm a big gap and counter guy, so I like his run game. I thought Woody Marks was top 5 players in the Big Ten last year.
I'm
telling you, he was such a gifted runner. I'm like, please don't give him the ball. Like,
well, look, I know it's injury related with Mixon and Chubb, but Marks is now RB1 in Houston. It didn't take long for that to happen. And he also has that history as a wide receiver, so you can use him as a full 3-down running back, which is great. Now, I will argue, I grew up in a gap scheme, but early 2000s, Kirk Ferentz, Iowa, zone stretch. That's my bread and butter, baby.
They were sick.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like guys.
like
you
your
ever seen
Sean
guys
Green?
like dance the two-step together? Watching them, they were. I'm not gonna. I'm with you on that. It was pretty sensational, and I'm like a put your foot in the ground and go guy too. So I kind of like that.
Yeah.
But that's I won't argue that. That's a pretty good pull too, by the way.
Brent, we appreciate the time. Enjoy Indianapolis. I'm sure we will speak after the combine and see if any of these thoughts have changed, and maybe we have a little bit more information on these guys. We appreciate it as always.
No, thank you for having me, gentlemen.
Thanks, Jake. Appreciate it.
That's Brent Sobleski from Bleacher Report. Really good stuff
He's
there.
Good dude.
Man, I appreciate, and the quarterback conversation is fascinating. I was telling, we'll take a quick break here, but I was telling Austin this yesterday.
Wait, do we have to?
Yeah, they get real mad at me when I don't take breaks after guests.
How about Rico coming in yesterday in very unsuave-like fashion? He is.
I was telling Austin this yesterday, and we can actually go through this a little bit if you want. There's only 26 quarterbacks in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Oh.
26.
Oh.
It's less than 10% of the Hall of Fame.
The only reason I rode this Bleacher Report thing so much is because of what you bottom lined it as. How we value or misvalue or overvalue quarterback play.
The play in the history of the league at the quarterback position is so much worse than we think.
Yeah, I agree.
And we kind of got to it here a little bit. That argument about whether or not to draft a guy is the same argument I've been making about whether or not to pay a guy.
Yeah, I want nothing wrong than to be wrong about Mendoza.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll take a quick break. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Well, I'm a little bit more interested in Isaiah Jacory and Quasi. Quasi looks different to me out there. Those are vets. Jacory's going into his third year now as a starter, and Isaiah's going into his third year as a starter. He's a big, powerful guy. Quasi's going into his third year as a starter in the Big Ten. He's a big, explosive guy. I mean, those guys look good right now. I'm excited to see if they can catch because we haven't thrown them a ball yet. But those guys are solid vets. Those guys have been good for Quinn Clark and Cortez Mills, and Keelan, because those guys run in there as the second group and they know what to do and they're gonna get better. And then you got the young guys, Jeremiah Jones. You got, Nayland Scott, you got Larry. So then you got real young guys that, I really haven't seen play yet. But, you can look at your third team right there and have some hope.
No, it's a great win for us, and now we got to win the recovery day tomorrow. I know I talk a lot about that, but it's important. These guys have to get back. If you didn't get a lot of minutes, get in there, get your shots up, get a little conditioning in. If you need to sit in the ice tub, sit in the ice tub, and we need to be ready to get back on the floor on Monday and play a Maryland team that's playing their best basketball this season right now. Yeah, I thought our flow was good. We talk a lot about playing within the flow of the possession, whether it's rink at the elbow or rink at the top of the floor and then cut off him. For the most part, I thought we took a step in the right direction in that today, but we made our open shots today as well. And, we had not been shooting the ball very well the previous couple games. So to be able to take the lid off, hopefully that's a confidence builder for these guys.
We're going to find ways to dictate protection, determine the turn of the center, and create some matchups, whether that's getting to 5-0 or 5-0 protection or going 6-up to dictate the turn and isolate the running back. But really what your question asking, how do we generate productivity from that position? And I think you look at Coach Manning. And what he did with our edges last year at San Diego State, I think there was 23 sacks in that room. And you look at his ability to develop a pass rusher and for them to really get comfortable on that arc of the pass rush when they're at the set point, the top of the rush, that they're really comfortable being productive there. And, I've been really impressed with his work from the past year. So I think it's a combination of we have to create the matchups we're looking for, but we also have to get these guys really comfortable being productive at those playmaking points.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. Just because we're not at the bar and grill anymore, though, doesn't mean you shouldn't be, whether it's Nebraska baseball, whatever your spring sports are. We got March Madness coming up. Make sure you get out to Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Great food, great TV setup, and go hang out there, watch your favorite teams play. Speaking of favorite teams, we got a little Nebraska football to talk.
We do. It depends if you want to. If you want to,
I always want to. You know this.
Yeah,
and we can ask Nick about this at 9 as well.
Nicholas Allen.
Yeah, people forget he likes football too.
Yeah, NAB.
Big football guy. Big Nebraska football guy.
Yeah, he's
got the bloodlines.
Well versed in sports.
He does.
I open up some salsa, explodes all over my chest.
Just like you and Jose Bueno, big salsa guy.
Jose and Micah.
Oh, okay. You're not a big salsa guy?
Salsa's fine. I didn't start eating it until this is legit.
Yeah.
I legit didn't start eating salsa until probably post-COVID.
Really?
I don't like a lot of what's in. And then I figured out, well, there's variations. It can be like crushed. It can be more pico-y. It could be. There's like a chipotle. There's ancho. Like I learned the variations. It doesn't have to just be
like
picking out onions and green. You saw what I did with the Indian the other day.
Yeah.
I spectacularly picked out every green, nasty veggie onion and whatever. What's the garnish?
Parsley?
Is it cilantro or parsley? Whatever it is, it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
I'm not a big, and to add some color, no.
Yeah, a little pop of color.
Well, if I want color, I'll just. I got plenty of color. Okay.
Yeah, because you're a commentator for the network.
That's
right?
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what you meant.
Yeah, so I've only been eating salsa for about 4 or 5 years.
I'm a big chips and salsa guy. I like
it's weird that was your Chili's rant a couple years ago.
So good.
But I don't hate on it.
No,
and it's hard. Like sometimes people put it on their eggs and stuff, and that cold hot contrast is always weird for me. But warm salsa gives me the ick.
Yeah, I'm out on the salsa on eggs, and I agree with you on the cold hot contrast. I'm not a fan of that either.
Yeah,
But Mike, he's the only reason we buy sriracha.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this dude can port. He likes spice.
I went through a phase where I did a lot of sriracha.
Yeah. I hit the going out of business place with a lot of seasonings.
Oh yeah.
Because I go to the one on 24th and St. Mary's too on the way back from the barber.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of seasonings like ancho and achiote.
How's that?
Poblano. I got adobo.
Yeah.
I can get my And I know it's not popular to talk about with what's going on over there right now, but I can get my Mexican game right.
The sriracha's big in the like powerlifting bodybuilding communities because you can spice up some otherwise bland food with very little calories.
Yeah. And that's the big thing on my TikToks.
Yeah.
You guys think you're eating healthy, but you put on these sauce. I got a bunch of these meatheads. I was like, fast forward. delete.
Yeah.
Reset the algorithm.
When I was watching the macros pretty tight, sriracha was a big part of my life.
Oh, sriracha's fire. Sriracha's fire.
It goes a long way.
I do need to head back south and get my bacon pieces.
I know people.
It's totally cultural.
I
ain't getting that out on 204th.
I know people will hate on me for the salt intake, but the sriracha and soy sauce go a long way.
Yeah. Soy. So I have about 4 different kinds of soy.
Because soy sauce is important.
I have brown soy, I have dark soy, I have low sodium.
Yeah.
And I have one, it has is it Tamara?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I know what you're talking about.
It's kind of like soy.
Yeah, it's not quite, but it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big low sodium soy guy.
Just see, Lee. I told you, Lee's an envelope pusher. You can't even say that.
Good Lord, Lee. It's Black History Month.
Hey. So, hey, AJ. So later on, Austin, if you have that softball picture that I sent you guys to that group chat, I want to show Lee something later on.
Oh, yeah.
Because Brendan's in that picture.
Yep.
I want to show it to him. You don't have to do it now, AJ. He's like chopping and splicing. This dude's like a DJ back there. He's like cutting and screwing, chopping and screwing. I'm like, fuck, there's a lot goes on in this place.
Kenny says I should do fermented sriracha. I don't know. I'm a little hesitant on fermented.
I hear
stuff.
fermented and I think kimchi, and I immediately get the willies.
I'm out on kimchi.
Fermented, like,
yeah, I don't know.
Well, I get it's an aging process, but why?
It makes me nervous.
And I've kind of been in. I mean, I probably wouldn't hold hands with Kenny, but we've been lockstep a lot of the way. He and I were having our own little sidebar conversation on great basketball in the 90s.
Oh, I was watching that, yeah.
Yeah, but I looked at some of these lists. I was just scouring, and Tyronn Lue is not on any of the best of the years in the Big Ten list, and that's anything that omits Tyronn Lue.
No, he was phenomenal. I mean,
is an omission.
Apparently soy sauce is fermented, so I might just not know.
I mean, it's just an aging process.
Yeah. That's the idea of, because if sriracha doesn't start fermented, then fermenting it freaks me out. I don't know. I'm probably just a child. Asian Wyatt says that hurts, guys.
Wait, what'd I say? Wait, Wyatt, I rock with you. I cook all kinds of your food.
I think he was mad about the kimchi.
Kimchi rots.
No, I think
no, I agree with you, Kenny.
You're probably right, Kenny. If it doesn't, if it doesn't taste fermented, then I'm okay.
Robert fermented. Everybody goes to kimchi.
That's the only. I think fermented. I immediately think kimchi. That's the only
It's just part of the aging process. It can be a multitude of things.
The only frame of reference that I have.
Dude, how does it make? I told you,
Lee. You have a good Brendan story. Let's do it.
He's silly, right?
Or a Daniel.
Yeah. But dude knows. Unfortunately, he knows a lot.
Yeah. That's what makes it harder.
You
to
have
deal
to
with.
put up with the nonsense.
You can't
to get to
just
the
write
good
him
stuff.
off.
Because every now and again he just gets pissed over tomfoolery, and then he just cuts through the chase, and it's like, well, wait a minute, you're the epitome of sarcasm and nonsense.
He used to get on me for years about always omitting Ben Roethlisberger from
QB
that
Dude
conversations.
is listen, he rocks with the Steelers.
Can I tell you what though? I'll take Roethlisberger over Favre.
Dude,
historically,
Roethlisberger was a little misplaced on that list.
I think so. He was low. He was like 17.
No, that's about right.
I think I would. Well,
I thought so. He's not above Warner.
I think he is.
Oh, he might have been.
I think
I don't know if the guys have that
Kurt was 19
at their disposal.
Kurt's 18, and I think Roethlisberger is 17.
Was he? That's a heck of a memory.
16.
Okay, heck, nice.
Thanks.
Shout out, you mistake me.
I think I would take Roethlisberger over Favre for sure. I'm not a Favre guy though.
Yeah.
Like that's not his stylistically. He's only got the one Super Bowl. Like I'm just not a Favre guy. He is, to me, he's the Pete Rose of football. Like the stats are huge and compiled and whatever. And I get that there's a place for him in this discussion. I think the place is much further down on the list. I'm not buying the top 10 quarterback of all time, Brett Favre. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I will take Dan Marino over him. I will take Johnny Unitas over him. If you're talking about importance to the game of football, I will definitely take Steve Young over him. I'll take Stafford over him. I'll take Roethlisberger over him. Like, I don't know. I think Drew Brees is a little overrated too here. He's at 8. 8 seems high for
It's
Drew
too high.
Brees.
That's too high.
Like, I'm taking Roethlisberger over Drew Brees.
So listening to Brent, I get where like the whole playing of the position clearly matters.
For sure.
And how you played it during your era, it has some weight.
I agree.
I don't get the Tannehill thing, but I get it.
That's part of the reason I'm not gonna pick too many nits over the Peyton Manning part of it, because he's got the resume outside of not as many Super Bowls as some of these guys. But the way he played the position and the way he revolutionized the position, I do think is important.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna hate on the Peyton. And I'm a big I like Peyton Manning a lot. But like, I don't think Brett Favre did that. That's my problem. Like, Brett Favre was just out there just slinging, which is fine. But it was also started to, especially by the end of his career, was very misplaced within his era.
I know it.
The way he played the game. Like,
he should have been in the 70s where he got to throw picks with Stabler and Bradshaw and everybody else.
Yeah, and like Daryl LaMonica, like all those guys.
I don't know, DJ. First blush, DJ. DJ. Go, DJ.
He says Dan Fouts is always overlooked.
No, listen. This is a real question. Shane, you have 1 second to answer the question. Are you ready?
Go.
Dan Fouts, Warren Moon.
Warren Moon.
That's how I feel.
But Dan Fouts was legit, though. I mean, that receiving core they had with the tight end.
No, I get it. Chandler, Joyner.
Winslow.
Yeah. Jefferson. I get it. But if I'm just talking about a spinner of the rock,
yeah,
give me Warren Moon.
In terms of just pure throwing of the football, I take Warren Moon. I understand the historical significance of Dan Fouts and the Air Coryell.
Yeah, but he got to be with Don Coryell.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
And look what Moon did with the run and shoot.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
I mean, Jeffries and Duncan aren't having those years with anybody, and Givens aren't having that year with anybody else.
Yeah,
Givens was sweet though.
You just like him because he's little.
Well,
Austin, you want to throw the softball picture up? I think he said he's got it.
Hey, so we got to blow this up. So
go full screen with it, guys. You can take us off for a second.
Yeah. So Lee, BAHE is in the bottom right hand corner with the black shades on, and he's the only one whose girlfriend got to be in the photo. Isn't that something?
You said she could rake though, right?
Yeah, Brandy was a fantastic athlete. She was track and field, but she played softball. She could flip and swing it. So there's Sean Weeding, there's Billy Hafke, my buddy Corey Barnes, Matt Hunting, Held's in that picture. Frost is obviously on that picture. A couple dads in that picture. Holbein's in that picture. Lance Brown is in that picture. Like, this team was legit. But yeah, that's Holbein.
There you go. That's the old school softball pick right there.
Yeah, how about that?
Let's take a quick break here.
We didn't even get to our spring guys.
I know.
Because we got everybody started on kimchi and fermentation.
We got distracted by the fermenting process.
Oh, that's too big. Shrink me. Oh my gosh. He said Brandy was a Yes, she was, DJ.
I think he's quoting a song. I don't know that he knows Brandy personally. We'll take a quick break. Nick Boz ready
you taking Moon or Fouts?
I probably go Moon, but I think it's close. I think it's really close.
I want to slap you.
That's fine. Listen, Black History Month. I'll give you Warren Moon.
Which would upset him, by the way. Don't do him any favors.
It upsets you too. I still do it. We'll talk to Nick Baugh coming up next here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
You guys pass the ball really well and run good stuff. So, because there's such great movement, you might help for a second, and there he is. He's going off something, or you guys have some really good passers that get him shots, and he doesn't need much time to get them off. I think he does a great job moving without the ball, but I also think as I always tell our guys, when you play against offense that have multiple actions, it requires multiple efforts and dealing with screens, and that's hard. And that happened today. We ran in some screens. We didn't have quick enough switch outs, and we've had trouble guarding good 3-point shooters all year long, and you saw that today. He's a very good player, and he's in the perfect system for his game.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports headquarters. We are joined now by Nick BAHE from everywhere, Fox Sports. He's now the newly signed Westwood One March Madness host. Nick BAHE, how are you doing?
Go.
Guys, I am on I-29 North driving, and I'm about to pass Rockport, Missouri. Hopefully you hear me okay. Yes, I am back with Westwood One for the NCAA tournament coverage. To let you behind the curtain, a big goal of mine has been to get a role covering the NCAA tournament from a national perspective. I'm glad, at least for the time being, I could check that box, baby. So I am very excited, and this NCAA tournament is going to be wild because there are a lot of teams that I could see making it to Indianapolis for the Final Four.
Two things. Congratulations. I'm probably one of your biggest fans.
Thank you.
The other thing is, man, I have driven that stretch. I know exactly where you are, and it's given me the willies.
Isn't Rockport the big fireworks place?
Yes. So unfortunately, I pulled off at that stop that's going to be to your left. You maybe have just passed it. Like, it's a gas station. There's a McDonald's over there. There's an old steakhouse restaurant. In that gas station, Nick, on at least, this is embarrassing, 4 or 5 occasions, I have gotten gizzards out of that place. Okay? So we're just going to keep that between 4 of us famous listening. But if you ever have a hankering for some good fresh fried gizzards, that's the spot.
Only you, Damon, would have a food recommendation off of I-29 North, which is fantastic. Quick story about my terrifying experience on I-29 North. I was driving back 2 years ago. It was like December 20th. I was calling a Kansas game. It was Kansas-Yale. It was the first time I saw Danny Wolf in person. But anyways, I'm driving back, and no pun intended, but fog rolled through that whole area. You guys, it was the most terrifying drive of my life. I could only see about a foot past the front of my hood of my car. I had to pull off in Rockport, and there's that little motel or Super 8 right there, and I had to pull off and stay the night in a hotel in Rockport because I couldn't drive any further. It was driving through fog when you can't see anything. One of the scariest things I've ever encountered.
Oh, 100%. That's the worst.
And I hate being stuck too, because you're like so close and you don't really want to stop, but it's like,
right. I checked in the Super 8, and I said, I'll take a room where I don't get murdered, please. And they were like, all right, you got it, sir.
Sorry, fresh out.
I'm gonna stay right. I want to stay in the Big Ten just for a second. We did this blind kind of. I gave him starting fives of national championships, and I had Ravi blind rank him. He did pretty well, and I went through the Darryl, the Arthurs, the Jacksons, the Russell Robinson years. I gave him some random Big Ten teams, but this Mateen Cleaves that had Mo P on there in '99. I want you to think about the Big Ten Conference as it currently sits with its players and its prowess. I'm going to give you the top 10 players ranked in 1999 in the Big Ten. Can the current Big Ten stack up with these guys post-pro career? So you've got Mateen Cleaves, Evan Eschmeyer, Scooney Penn, Quincy Lewis, Mo P, AJ Guyton, Michael Redd, Lewis Bullock, and Luke Recker. Is the Big Ten better? What do you think when I give you that I'm not even going to give you like 92, 93 because it was sick. I mean, you're talking Glenn Robinson, Calvin Sweeney, like it was unbelievable. But let's just go 99, right before Michigan State won it. Is this Big Ten conference, which people hold in high regard, similar to that player profile?
I would say, as I was bracing myself for you to list off those names, my inclination was to answer no. You know, that the 99, that crop of players were going to be better than this crop of players. While there's some ballers and some deep cuts, Luke Recker I loved Michael Redd. He was fantastic. Obviously Scooney Penn as well was terrific. And we know about Mo Pete and Mateen Cleaves and the March Madness heroes those guys are. But you look at Keaton Wagler and you think, and then you go to the guys at Michigan, you go to Braden Smith, who's one of the best college point guards we've seen, you know, both statistically and just from checking every box that you can in a career. It's pretty amazing. He's lost to a 16 seed. He's made it to a national championship game. He's the Big Ten assist leader. Like, you blind resume Braden Smith's career, and it's pretty darn good. So I would say, oddly enough, I think this group is comparable. I just wonder, because I don't know in the 99 group that you named, I don't know if there's a guy that went on to have just like a truly spectacular NBA career. Yeah. And so you wonder, is there somebody in this crop, and you're most likely looking at a guy like probably Keaton Wagler that feels like he's built to step in the league and be a pretty darn good pro. So it's hard to, you don't know what you don't know, and you know what you know from 99. But yeah, Damon, that's interesting. I would say the two lists are very similar. And in fact, I'd maybe honestly lean 2025, 2026 at this point, which I wasn't expecting the answer to be.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think I might lean the current slate as well.
Isn't that fascinating though?
Yeah, because
I mean, Evan Eschmeyer, I mean, there's a lot of those guys now.
I know it is hard in hindsight because I remember being a huge AJ Guyton guy. I also know that like professionally didn't really turn out to be anything, right? So it's hard without knowing what this group turns into. And Nick, I'm glad you brought up Keaton Wagler because DB and I have had conversations and arguments about what we think Keaton Wagler is and what his pro potential is. When you're slating him, I don't want to necessarily put him in the, top 3-4 category, but when you're slating him with the other guards in this class, like the A-Cups and the Michael Browns and Mikhail Browns and the
Kingston
Flemings, that group of guys, where does Keaton Wagler fall for you?
Man, I mean, I think he's right there with. He's maybe not as quick twitched as an A-Cuff. Even at Kingston Flemings, when Kingston really pushes the gas in the open floor. Haven't seen him in person now twice in the past 3 days. I had him at Arizona and then had him last night at Kansas. Although he didn't play great, he's got a gear that's pretty special. I think the thing that I like about him more than maybe some of those I like about Wagler more is the way he can shoot the three off the dribble. And anymore in the NBA, that's such an important thing because you're constantly, a lot of what you're doing is mismatch hunting and just playing out of ball screens. And a big part of your success is your ability to hit jump shots off the dribble. And I think Wagler's probably better suited than a lot of those guys to be able to play that way. And the other thing you like about him is that he still's got a baby face. Like he I swear to God, I saw him in November and then interviewed him after the win at Nebraska, and I feel like he's gotten taller in just a couple of months. So I feel like there's a chance that he could grow another inch and really fill out physically. I'm a huge fan, man. I mean, the first time you saw him, you wondered if like, okay, is he just is Wagler just holding down the fort until Stojakovic and some of these other foreign guys that Brad Underwood brought in get healthy and then they're going to take over? But you could tell right away this dude was legit and fantastic, and he maybe had the single best performance of the season, having 46 at Mackey. I think he's really good, man. I've been a huge fan, and he's one of the reasons that I think Illinois has got a real shot at making a run at this thing.
Kind of like Illinois as a whole, though. I think the part that Ravi's not telling you, because he's trying to protect me. I like Wagler. I don't love Wagler. It's not an elite level handle. Not, still has yet to have a dunk. Not an elite level athlete. I get the strap, but this started a couple weeks ago because I said I would take Burries over Wagler if I had to win a game tomorrow. So that kind of is the catalyst for where this conversation started. But to a bigger point, and I won't hold you to Burries over Wagler if you had to win tomorrow, but I will say this. When you look at Illinois, does their athleticism against elite level teams concern you at all? Or are they so skilled offensively you think they'll be okay?
Did we lose him?
We might have lost him.
Oh, muffins.
All right, let's try and get him back there.
I know where he is too. He just passed that last fireworks stand.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a dead stretch there. Was like Mountain City.
Yeah. No, he's probably north of Mountain City.
Because Mountain City coming back is after Rockport,
because
right?
He would have been
Mountain City's about the
he'd
last
have
thing
already been past that.
It's about the last thing in Missouri there. Yeah. We'll try and get Nick back here.
I'll be fascinated to
That's a
hear
good question. I mean, that's a good question about Illinois, because I do think that would be the main concern is their overall athleticism as a team.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, they sort of remind me.
There he is.
I think we got him back here.
Can you hear me?
Yep. How much of that did you hear with Alan?
No, I heard the whole question. I heard the whole question, Damon. Apologize for that, guys. No, the athleticism of Illinois is obviously the one area that you would circle as what could hold them back from making it to Indianapolis. It would be that. I mean, they make up for it, as you pointed out, with their incredible size and their skill. But you just, at some point, I've always felt this way, and I mean, you could go back outside of some of the Danny Hurley UConn teams that just kind of were levitating above everybody over the course of their run. You're probably going to have to win a game where your offense isn't firing. You know what I mean? Like, and it's hard to win 4, 5, 6 games in a row against good teams and thinking you're going to shoot, 13 for 28 from 3 and score 89 points every single game. The question is when Illinois is 5 for 25 from 3 and they're playing an athletic team from the SEC or whatever, what does that look like? You're right. I think that is, because guys like Hummer Krause and Jake Davis, those guys are not very athletic. They know their roles. They move the ball. They make open shots. That's why I never subscribed to the idea when people were talking about, is this team better without Boswell? I don't agree with that at all, because Boswell is the best athlete in terms of being able to guard on the perimeter. So I think it's huge that they kind of are getting him back into the fold. But yeah, I would say when you're looking at what could hold a team back, it's definitely how athletic Illinois is across the board, which could concern me.
As I want to get into who you think can win national championships here, but I got to ask you were just there last night at Kansas. I got to ask you about the Darryn Peterson thing. It officially kind of like jumped the shark, I think, in the last week or so, where Stephen A. Smith is talking about it. It's been a very weird season for him, obviously. What do you make of not only the availability and the playing time, but I guess what do you make of him as a prospect as well? Because I do think even outside of the availability, I do think there are some concerns there for a guy that could potentially go number 1.
Yeah, man, it's hard. First and foremost, and I think you guys would agree, I always drag my feet to come hard on a thought when I don't have all the answers and I don't know exactly what is going on. So I think I think it's always nice to exercise some caution when you're embarked down a road like this where you don't know, and you should maybe preface everything with that before you kind of at least give your observation, because in the absence of information, you sometimes have no choice but to kind of fill in the gaps of how things are landing and perceiving. And I think from the standpoint of my take on everything is kind of like, whatever the reason is now, or whatever it is like, it's not good. If he's hurt and his body is that banged up and he can't play game to game and he can't play a full 40 minutes more often than not, that's not good. If he's obviously maybe thinking about the next level in the NBA and preserving his draft stock or whatever, then that's not good. So I think that's the thing that's interesting, is that we've landed in this place where whatever the answer is or whatever the explanation is or whatever is going on, it's not a very positive thing on any front. And so it's been confusing, to say the least. I was calling the game, the first one that was surprising that he didn't play.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was I think it was Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Gosh, it's hard to remember all the way back in November, but he all of a sudden he went through shoot around and then he wasn't playing at the game, and there was some confusion as to what exactly was going on. So it's hard. It's challenging to connect the dots. If there was a perfectly good explanation, then it would be probably brought out and everybody could understand it, but we've yet to really, at least for me, I've yet to really understand anything. Myron Metcalf had a huge piece on ESPN.com on it, and I finished reading the story, and I'm not saying it wasn't a good story, but I walked away going, okay, I don't think I know what I really learned in terms of trying to get an answer. In terms of him as a prospect, man, when like you think about the Baylor game, or you think about the BYU first half or the Oklahoma State first half, or how he closed the Texas Tech game, when he does things, and I would say DeBonsa's the same way, like when they do things, it looks way different than everybody else on the floor. I think the thing that you can kind of read between the lines, and there was a moment, the cameras caught it last night, where Bill Self, Darryn Peterson hit a dribble handoff three right in front of the Kansas bench, and Bill Self locked eyes with Darryn Peterson as he was backpedaling, and he was yelling at him like, "Guard! We need you to guard!" Like, I think that's the thing that he's so athletic. He's 6'6", he's strong. Like, I think he can be way more impactful defensively. I want to see him get to where he is just dominating every phase of the game. On the defensive end, his matchup, help side, when he gets doubled, when he gets ISO'd, like, I know he's good enough to do all of those things. And I think Coach Self I thought in the Cincinnati game, him along with everybody else for Kansas, their intensity just wasn't there defensively. Now, it was definitely there last night. So it's an interesting, the Darryn Peterson thing is interesting. When he is right, man, it is truly spectacular, and without question a number one pick for me. But it's there's certainly, the more this is drug on, the more questions there are than answers, the more concerning it gets. But at least he played 30 minutes or whatever it was last night, and Kansas looked pretty good.
It's interesting too, because he's kind of willed himself into that top player in the country. He didn't start out that way. Like, he was grinding through the circuit as trying to be the guy. You know what I mean? So he has it in him, maybe from somewhere, because he wasn't the number one player till he was the number one player, as my man Jacob Padilla so eloquently put it. So he has the ability to chase you down, I think, right, from a competitive standpoint. But let me ask you this. I've watched him a ton. You know the school better than anyone in this room. Does he give you more or less Andrew Wiggins vibes? Is he a better athlete than Andrew Wiggins?
I don't think he's a better athlete than Andrew Wiggins necessarily. I mean, that was the one thing that Wiggins was a freak. Man, like I know it's. Go back and watch some of his stuff early on in his career. I mean, like,
I couldn't believe you just didn't pencil him in for 25 a night, but you just never knew if that's what he wanted to do. He was is there an Andrew Wiggins comp in there from how they approached the game at all?
I think they're both very stoic. They're both. You don't feel like you feel Melvin Council's energy. You can feel like
nobody's busy being busier than Melvin Council.
It is. You know what's amazing? He has captivated Lawrence, Kansas, like nobody. I'd argue that he's more beloved, maybe a Braden Smith to their school. Like it is remarkable how much that fan base has taken a liking to Melvin, and it goes to show you, like, people still love people that wear
hard.
they play hard, they wear it on their sleeve. Like that dude just brings it every night. And it's fun to see. I think with the difference between Darryn Peterson and Andrew Wiggins is the shot making. Like Darryn Peterson is a truly special shot maker, to the point where I think he's so good that he settles. Like, I think he settles for tough jump shots, 18-footers, contested threes, where
Kobe vibes.
Honestly, that's what he. I know it's crazy and it's ridiculous whenever he do that stuff, but like his game is more similar to Kobe Bryant's in terms of, like, not the emotional part of it, but like how he gets his shots and what it looks like. It's more similar to Kobe than it is maybe an Andrew Wiggins. But I just, he had his remember that one traffic dunk he had against BYU? Hit that right line and went up. Like, I just think he could do that more. But sometimes talent can make you, lazy's not the right word, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, sometimes people are so talented.
Like OCs with an athletic quarterback. Sometimes the more talented the quarterback, it can make you lazy as an OC. I get it.
You know what? It's funny that you're describing this, and we were just talking about this guy. That's why it reminded me. Like, it sounds like you're talking about Anthony Richardson at Florida to me as a quarter. Like, that's the comp that I'm getting, where it's like, oh, like when he does this, it's spectacular. And you're right. Like, I'm not denying that. It's like, when he does this, it's spectacular. And when he does this, it's awesome. It's like, we don't get that all the time, and probably not as much as we want to, but like, you see the profile of it. You just get these little glimpses. And I agree. The shot making is incredible. I really, really struggle. Somebody gave me the Kobe comp the other day, and I get the shot selection and stuff. I'm like, man, Kobe went out and shot free throws with a torn Achilles. Like, I'm having a hard time. Yeah, I get the differentiation, but I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the ability, the thing, and it's all intertwined with not playing or playing the whole game. It's like you want to see him sustain stuff, and it's one thing to do it for a half. It's another thing to do it for a full 40 minutes and then do it 2 nights later and do it for another full 40 minutes. And that's what's challenging at times right now is again, like, is it because he's not doing that he doesn't necessarily have the foot on the gas all the time? I don't know. It's certainly a very unique deal, and I think the thing with KU is I do subscribe to the school of thought that it is hard, where it's like Coach Self has 2 different teams. He's got the team with Darryn Peterson and without Darryn Peterson, and they're learning. Like, I think Melvin Council really changes his aggressiveness when Darryn Peterson's not on the floor. Yeah. And I thought for the first time in that second half last night, Melvin Council, he took the keys to the car and said, okay, I'm going to take this thing over and be uber aggressive, because they need his aggressiveness, because that opened things up for Badunga on flip-ups, and that opens up kickouts to Trey White. And so I just think the more those 2 guys can find a way to coexist together and be aggressive at the same time, I think Kansas is they've shown what they can do, albeit they've been in Allen Fieldhouse for both games, but the way they played against Arizona and the way they played against Houston in that second half, like, that's hitting a checkpoint that's pretty high.
You'll take the 6 of 25 from Council against Arizona if it's that productive from an energy standpoint too. Let me ask you this, Nicholas Allen. How would you say? I don't know, DB. Be careful, man. I'm looking at St. Louis. I'm a honk. They got one of the best shooters in the country. Not named Chilovic. It's not a Villa. Like St. Louis is pretty complete. Do I need to be careful when you get into this kind of athleticism? Maybe your offense leaves you a game kind of discussion with the Pelicans.
Yeah, I think St. Louis is, the thing that can stress teams out so much, and it's one of the things that makes Wisconsin dangerous and how they operate offensively, is when you have frontline guys that can step out and shoot and can pass the way Avila can. Like, you know, that's what unlocks everything. But that team's it's more than just him.
Yep.
And Josh Schertz on the low over the last couple of years, guys. I mean, Avila was hurt last year, and that's why things tanked for them last season. But like at Indiana State, that team, I think, should have gotten in the NCAA tournament. You saw what they did getting all the way to the NIT finals that year. Like this isn't like a flash in the pan. You could when you start listing off best offensive minds in college basketball, you have to have Josh Schertz on that list. Like that dude is nasty with what he does in the half court. And so I don't know. I mean, can St. Louis make a run to the second weekend? I suppose. I mean, just because of how they shoot the ball and score. And then I also think sometimes just in everything in sports nowadays, we undervalue winning. Like they win, man. What are they, 25-2 or whatever it is now? I mean, like that same thing with Miami of Ohio. I mean, they got a 0 in the loss column, guys. Like, I mean, like if it was that, I love it. Like, oh, well, look at their schedule. It's like, okay, well, then why doesn't more teams do that? Like, it's hard to go out there and get it done every night. So, no, I think St. Louis, because of their head coach's offensive prowess and the frontline versatility, I like what they can be. There's some interesting mid majors that are gonna make some noise when they get in there, and that's what makes and I know it wouldn't be in this range, but that's where Nebraska needs to finish strong, because as you guys know, there's just a big difference between playing a 12 or a 13 seed than there is playing a 14 or a 15 seed. And so you hope Nebraska can kind of keep it rolling here down the stretch. Got a manageable schedule, but a tougher schedule than you think, because they got teams that need to beat you to make sure their name gets called on Selection Sunday. Whenever you're playing a team like that, like that's you better be ready to bring it from an emotional and mentality standpoint.
Yeah, to your point, and I'm not discounting Maryland, but it's at PBA, so I'm just setting it aside for a second. But I've talked all season about the athleticism at SC, and listen, I get it. You know, UCLA 15-1 at Pauley, and I don't think it's because of the atmosphere, but they are extremely athletic, and it cost Illinois too in that matchup over the weekend. It was like UCLA is, I don't know, man. Like they're interesting. So when you watch a USC and a UCLA, and I'm not saying Nebraska's not athletic, because I think they're athletic enough and they're sneaky long in some areas that can help, especially if Burke's back on the floor making good decisions. But is that the kind of team or teams that you see giving Nebraska trouble? USC may dribble too much. You know, they're kind of Michigan Statey with pounding the ball.
They feel better when Nebraska.
As UCLA can pass the rock, and Dent's tough. Like, is this a lookout weekend for you, Nick?
Yes, I do think, you know, much like with Illinois, if you were to look at weaknesses for Nebraska, you would say top end athleticism. Like, I mean, I don't think, you know, you have to get upset at that comment if you're a Nebraska basketball fan. You know, they're able to make up for it with just supreme toughness and supreme discipline and IQ and being in the right spot. As you guys know, whether you're talking about football and defense, like a lot, toughness and IQ can make up for a lack of maybe quick twitch athleticism in certain instances. But yeah, I mean, I think the type of teams that could give Nebraska problems are supremely athletic teams. And then ultimately, you know, it's hard to score in the paint against Nebraska. It's hard to throw it into the post and score against Nebraska because of how their defense is designed. Their defense does an outstanding job, and the numbers bear it out. We're going to have a hard time scoring at the rim against Nebraska. And it's not because they have terrific rim protection. It's because they have a terrific design, because Nate Linzer is just a beast on that sideline for the Huskers. So it's the teams that also can shoot it too. You know, you got to be able to knock down some shots from the perimeter. We've, you know, discussed ad nauseum over the years, where you look at the percentage of points given up from the 3-point line that Nebraska gives up defensively. It's top 15 in the country. I mean, if you're going to beat Nebraska, you're going to have to knock down some jump shots. So I think athletic teams that can also shoot are teams that could give Nebraska issues. UCLA could be that. You know, it depends on what kind of feeling Perry or Tyler Bilodeau or how they're operating in that sort of a department. But I just, again, I just think this weekend, like I said a second ago, and even Iowa to end the year, I'm going to have that game. I'm excited for that one. Like these teams that they need to beat you. You are a huge, you're a win that potentially gets them in the NCAA tournament. Like they are going to bring it, and you got to be ready to match it. And so it'll be Nebraska's going to get tested on that front. While they aren't playing, some of the top 5 teams in the Big Ten, they're playing some teams that are playing for their NCAA tournament life, and that brings about a different kind of set of challenges that Nebraska, I think, will be fine. I mean, it's one thing they've been pretty consistent, and it's their competitiveness and focus game to game. We really haven't seen. I can't really think of a time where Nebraska wasn't really locked in terms of their effort and their focus, but it's just, when the grind of the season now really takes its toll and the other team is locked in, we'll see what that looks like.
Do they need an 8th player?
Yeah, ideally.
They just seem sometimes to be, and maybe the break is good here, but they just seem at times to be stretched.
Agreed. Yes. I think it would be nice if they could cultivate that 8th guy. Although, down the stretch, teams have a way of shrinking that bench anyways.
The other night, I mean, I could see him trying.
Yes, and you think about, though, with the way Nebraska's built, like it feels like, though, trust is going to, Fred Hoiberg trusts Cale Jacobson. He trusts Sam. You need Price out there. You need Jamarcus out there. You need Rink out there. Braden Frager in some ways is somewhat of the barometer of what Nebraska's top end can look like. When Frager plays well, everything changes for that team. When he struggles, they can struggle to score a little bit. So it would be nice to get an 8th guy, sure. I don't know if it's vital though. Just because I know that when push comes to shove, those top 7 dudes are going to be the main guys that are on the floor.
Gotcha.
Nick, offensively for Nebraska, obviously we've seen the efficiency and the analytics kind of dip the last month or so. If you're Nebraska and I can give you one of these fixes, which one are you taking? Consistency out of Braden Frager, or Rink Mast returning to early season form offensively?
I would take Rink Mast returning to form, just because I think that top end is higher than Braden Frager's top end. And the other thing is that Rink Mast top end impacts the other guys on the floor. It makes Bryce Sanford better. It makes Jamarcus Lawrence better. Frager's more of like a silo good player. Like when he's rolling, it's rolling for him. And he's scoring. That's not a shot at Braden, but that's just he's just a bucket getter, Rink is a guy that elevates everybody else on the floor. And I think you're seeing a little bit now that the familiarity level in conference play gets to be where pet plays for Bryce Sanford and different actions and whatnot become so well scouted, and it becomes challenging to get those. Like, I think Nebraska is going to benefit immensely when they play a team that has not seen Nebraska before. I'm telling you guys, if you have not gone against that no middle defense, it is tricky. And there's a reason that Illinois, I remember talking to Brad Underwood before the rematch in Lincoln, and his line to me was, they had us in shambles in the first 12 minutes of the game.
He said shambles.
Shambles was the word. And so, because Nebraska runs some of that, like it's some Princeton stuff where, 2 guys come to an elbow, one back cuts, one pops, they wrap it and pop. They do a bunch of different things that are a little unconventional. And if you've not seen it, and you're not Iowa, who is just supremely disciplined defensively, like Iowa's one of the few teams that they're gonna be smart enough to be able to guard a lot of Fred Hoiberg stuff in the half court. Not very many teams are built like that. And so I think on both ends of the floor, Nebraska is going to benefit immensely from stepping out of conference because of how unique they are. I mean, I was talking to an Iowa assistant coach at Iowa, Wisconsin on Sunday, and we were talking about the Nebraska game, and he said it to me. He goes, man, Nebraska's a team on a short prep. If you got to play them in the second round of the NCAA tournament, that is a disaster to play against. And I think it reminds me of that. Remember the Princeton team that Creighton played in the Sweet 16 that upset Arizona in the first round and then beat Missouri in the second round. And I think Missouri had prepared for Arizona, and all of a sudden they're dealing with a Princeton offense, and you're like, oh my God, all this stuff is totally different than what you're used to. I guess I'm just saying, like, for Husker fans, you're looking for some optimism and reason to be excited. Nebraska is a nightmare to prepare for in 24 hours. You got a dude that wants to chase Price Sanford for 40 minutes like Bennett Sturt did. Guys, get this. Bennett Sturts ran 5.9 miles defending Price Sanford. That is 331 down and backs, baseline to baseline. How many teams got a guy that's wired like Bennett Sturts that's like, yep, I got it. I'm going to chase him the whole game, and I'm going to be able to have energy to do all that stuff. I guess what I'm saying, Husker fans, is like, one of the things I really am high on is the unique nature of how Nebraska plays on both ends of the floor, greatly benefiting them when they step out and are playing teams for the first time in the NCAA tournament. Good luck with Fred Hoiberg's dry erase board. Good luck with Nate Linzer and how he diagnoses and diagrams things, and how they're gonna load to the ball and trap and scramble. Have fun with that, because it is really hard.
I love that. Let me ask you about two teams. I want to go to the Big East real quick, because when listening to you talk about degree of difficulty, if you haven't seen them versus how they play, that may be better out of conference. And I give you St. John and Villanova. Villanova with the multiple guards, they can take care of it. It's a little different. And then St. John's kind of trying to figure it out, how they want to play offensively, and then can sit down and guard. Are those teams better out of conference than in conference?
Yes, probably they are, especially because Kevin Willard mixes defenses, and his matchup zone is a little unique to go against. As you guys know, like, the one thing you want, and this can be, I don't know, I just feel like I got to pander to Damon with football stuff, but like, you want to know, you want to know if you're diagnosing, you got a trip set and you want to diagnose something with your routes, you want to know how a team is supposed to handle that, right?
Yeah.
Like, you want to know how a secondary is supposed to defend those things. What's tough about matchup zones is, who the hell knows? They might run with a cutter one time, they might switch something one time, and so what you expect to work from your sets standpoint doesn't always work, because they might handle the same action 3 different times over the course of 5 minutes, and that makes it hard. And so in some ways, Villanova is challenging in that regard. St. John's is more transparent with what they do. It's like, they're going to switch a lot of screens. They're ridiculously big in the front line with Mitchell, Hopkins, and Zuby Ejiofor. And then, do you have the motor and the physicality to deal with a grizzly bear attacking every single offensive rebound and fouling the living you-know-what out of you for 40 minutes in Zuby Ejiofor? Like, it is unbelievable to watch him play live with how hard he attacks every shot that goes up.
Is he playing here in the Big East?
Yes, right now he is, to me. Just because UConn's a little bit of a victim of, like, their balance. You can make a case for Reed, you can make a case for Silas Demery, you could certainly make a case for Caravan. I mean, there's no question who the dude is for St. John's that is leading that charge. So I hope that answers your question, Damon. Like, St. John's is a little more transparent, and kind of what they do is what they do. It's just a matter of, can you stop it, and do you really understand? It's one thing to look on film, like, all right, guys, Ejiofor is a good rebounder, you got to put a body on him. It's like, no, you don't get it. This guy, this is going to be one of the hardest playing dudes that is enormous and strong and quick that you are going to deal with. Like, he's a unique guy to go against from a big guy standpoint, because of the way he pursues every shot. And then Villanova is different because of their ability to stretch you out, and then some of the unique stuff they do defensively with mixing defenses.
Can I nerd out with you on Kevin Willard here for a second?
Be honest though. You better tell the whole backstory.
No, because I hated him.
He and I have fought about Kevin Willard for 4 years.
I thought at Seton Hall he was trash. I was not impressed. I think he had dramatically more talented teams at Seton Hall at times than he's got this year at Villanova. But when I was I watched a bunch of their games in a row when I was prepping to do the game with John the other day, and I was so impressed. Not only you mentioned the matchup zone and how tricky that can be, but it used to feel a lot like offensively he was just like, hey, you go do something, dribble a lot, we'll see what happens. And I was so impressed with the way they used Brennan at the top of the key
to initiate offense
and run 18 different things that look the exact same. And I was just genuinely really impressed. I know I was a hater before. Was I just being a hater before, or has he actually gotten that much better?
I think he's gotten better. I don't think there's any question about that. And sometimes we when we talk about improving, we only talk about players. Coaches can certainly get better as well. And the one thing I will say about Kevin Willard that's impressive is think about how this this Villanova team is built, and then think about how Maryland was built. Maryland had Julian Reese and Derek Queen, two of the best big guys in the country, and he was able to be able to diagram an offense that utilized playing through the post in that regard, which is really, really challenging to do. And then you think about how different this team is in terms of how they're built with 4 guards and having short rolls and different things like you pointed out with Duke Brennan. And then what I also like that he does is, I think one of the harder things that sometimes Kevin Willard do is he'll just say, all right, guess what? Tyler Perkins is going to get the ball. He's going to get one side of the floor completely cleared out for him, and he's just going to isolate you and back you down, and you got a decision to make on, are you doubling him or are you going to let him beast and big body a guard down low? So he does a nice job at times of mixing intricate things in terms of pick and rolls and having 4 guards and Duke Brennan doing short roll stuff, with also sometimes it is about just get the ball to a guy that is really good in a spot and letting him go to work. So yeah, I think I'm just impressed with I'm amazed at coaches. I'm cut from the cloth of Michigan State and Izzo have looked the same for 25 years, and I think there's something that is incredibly endearing and I love about that. But I'm also impressed with how coaches can evolve and change literally year to year, which is probably important nowadays with how the portal works, and you kind of just take what you can get and get the best available and then go from there. But yeah, I think Kevin Willard has improved dramatically as a coach, and I think sometimes we don't think about how coaches can improve.
All right, so I'm gonna get you out on this, and I appreciate the time, especially while driving. I've done it's hard to do, and you've been a pro's pro, no surprise there. I'm gonna give you 3 guys, and I'll bring something a little different to the table. I gravitate towards kind of gamesmanship and knowing what I'm gonna get from a versatility standpoint. So I'm gonna get that out of the way. There's Wagler, who I know has the super strap. There's Kingston Flemings, who's 0 to 60 faster than anybody, and bless his heart, he's brought the mid-range game back. Then there's this guy in Burries at Arizona who can do a little bit of everything, in my opinion. Slot those guys for me as a 3, and kind of why.
Man, these are one of those things where it's almost like that. I won't do marry F kill, but I will do start that bench, where it's like, damn dog, you're benching that guy or you're cutting that guy, so someone's going to be 2 or 3 here that is going to be like, wow, what an idiot, because I know he's not your guy, DB. I lean Wagler 1 just because I value the ability to shoot the 3 off the dribble. Yeah. I just look at and I guess, Damon, let me start with this. When you were framing the question, I'm framing it in my mind as I'm picturing an Elite 8 game with 10 minutes to go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Is that fair? Is that a fair way to frame it? So I'm thinking about high leverage situation, high pressure, what a lot of those possessions end up looking like. And I always go back to what did it look like with Walter Clayton Jr.? And what Walter Clayton did a lot was he was able to hit shots off the bounce. Now he also got to the basket quite a bit, but I think the reality is you're going to have to be able to shoot over the top. So I'll go Wagler 1. God, I hate doing this because the more I was like, man, this Braden Burries guy is just like, he's one of those, you know what's hard about him, Damon, is like, I don't know if he's great at any one thing. Like, he's not necessarily a great athlete.
That's fair, but I love the way he controls the game.
Yes,
I agree with you.
And I love his. I think he is. I guess I'll put it this way: all those guys have a bad shooting night. Who can still impact winning the most? Braden Burries can impact winning the most on a bad shooting night. So I would, if we were framing it that way, I would have Burries at the top. But I think in terms of the ability to score, I just think Wagler and Flemings are just a tiny notch ahead of Burries. So I hate to do it to you, DB, and I hope we can still be friends after this. But I'll put Wagler 1, Flemings 2, and Burries 3. But yeah, that hurts my soul too a little bit.
It's all good. I like the context too, though.
That's a good way to work through it.
I think in Burries plays, I don't know. I think he's at the biggest disadvantage with the way that Arizona plays offense. Even though Houston is,
I agree with that. That's a good point, Damon. That's a good point.
I mean? Yeah. Okay. All right. That's fair. We're still boys. I'm Hurrdat. Drive safe. You're probably almost home as long as we kept you, man. So I appreciate you, my guy.
You got it, guys. I'm sorry I was cutting out a few times, but appreciate you. Thank you.
Good as it gets. Appreciate it, Nick.
No, you're good. That is Nicholas BAHE. He is FS1, Peacock, and Westwood 1. He'll be the anchor, the host. He'll hold it down for
Shout out Westwood 1.
NCAA tournament coverage. So super exciting for him. I know it's a big deal on something he's worked really hard for, but good stuff from there. Let's take a quick break here. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla. We'll wrap up the show next here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Well, I'm a little bit more interested in Isaiah Jacory and Quasi. Quasi looks different to me out there. Those are vets. You know, Jacory's going into his third year now as a starter, and Isaiah's going into his third year as a starter. He's a big, powerful guy. Quasi's going into his third year as a starter in the Big Ten. You know, he's a big, explosive guy. I mean, those guys look good right now. I'm excited to see if they can catch because we haven't thrown them a ball yet. But you know, those guys are solid vets. Those guys have been good for Quinn Clark and Cortez Mills, you know, and Keelan, because those guys run in there as the second group and they know what to do and they're going to get better. And then you got the young guys, you know, Jeremiah Jones, you got, you know, Nayland Scott, you know, you got Larry. So then you got real young guys that, you know, I really haven't seen play yet. But, you know, you can look at your third team right there and have some hope.
No, you know, it's a great win for us, and you know, now we got to win the recovery day tomorrow. I know I talk a lot about that, but it's important. These guys have to get back. If you know, you didn't get a lot of minutes, get in there, get your shots up, get a little conditioning in. If you need to sit in the ice tub, sit in the ice tub, and we need to be ready to get back on the floor on Monday and play a Maryland team that's playing their best basketball of the season right now. Yeah, I thought our flow was good. You know, we talk a lot about playing within the flow of the possession, whether it's rink at the elbow or rink at the top of the floor and then cut off him. You know, for the most part, I thought we took a step in the right direction in that today, but we made our open shots today as well. And, you know, we had not been shooting the ball very well the previous couple games. So to be able to take the lid off, you know, hopefully that's a confidence builder for these guys.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports headquarters, reminding you, we talked about him a little bit earlier, but I'm just going to give you the phone number in case you missed it, 402-614-9700. That's how you get a hold of our friends over at Next Gen Mail Medical. I'll be heading over there today to go pick up some of my stuff.
Guess who's back on Wednesdays?
You back
Chump?
on Wednesdays?
Yeah.
That's only if you remember to go tomorrow.
I'll remember. I don't have any friends. I keep telling you that.
You got lots of friends. They're all here in the office.
And I
with
wouldn't
you.
say they're overly nice. Plus, Abreu hasn't been there the last couple times, so I've been dealing with D.
Yeah.
You better have your joke game right, because she's not laughing just to be laughing.
No,
you better come. Yeah, you better come correct.
No courtesy chuckles.
No, no, there ain't no going along to get along. They're so good out there.
Give them a call, 402-614-9700. If you're on the weight loss plan like me, or you need some peptides, whatever it is, they've got you covered, and they will take great care of you. It's about your whole overall health. It's not just some place that's going to pump you full of testosterone or whatever and send you on your way. They want you to be your best you, and they're going to help you do that. I'm really fascinated.
I got to tell JPB, I love Acuff.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I do.
You didn't bring him up in that specific scenario, but that was just.
Yeah, but I will say this. We do sleep on Burries.
Yeah,
I like the way Nick framed it, though.
You're higher on him than most.
He does. He can do everything.
He can do the most, but he
may not be elite at any one thing, but he can do it all.
So I think what gives me the hang up on Burries is what you sort of said about Acuff. You think Acuff's going to be the best pro. I worry with Burries not being elite at anything, what he is as a pro.
Yeah.
That's the thing so that's probably my hang up with Burries more than it should be about him as a college player. Is that fair?
Yeah. I mean, the open-ended spaces in the floor probably suits Kingston Fleming's obviously better than in college, but Kingston Fleming's takes a lot of low-key tough shots.
He has to. And he does take a lot of tough shots.
So it's like,
well, I think he has to. And
I get I'm fascinated with Wagler, because I'm just wondering, are you going to get open enough in the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, if Nick is right and he ends up growing a little too, that is a game changer for him.
Oh, he's 6'6".
Gotta be 6'6", right? So, but that's what I mean. Like, if Nick is talking about him maybe being even bigger than that, which I don't know if that's true or not. Like, that's perception.
Remember, when you're long like that, I mean, that handle's got to come with you.
I understand that, but my point is, if
he's not Knipple, where he's like,
he's not going to bully
and
people,
super strong, and and I get it. They have different games, but I'm saying when you're that long and you want to survive in the league without putting it on the deck at an elite level, you have to have some other attributes.
Yeah, I guess my thought is, because right now my assumption with Wagler in the league has been, because I agree with you on the not elite level athleticism, is if he can get the handle right to be a point guard, then the elite level positional size outweighs the lack of athleticism.
Yeah. And it was magnified against UCLA.
Yeah, no, the athleticism.
Like, I just couldn't believe how they couldn't stay in front of the Bruins.
Yeah. Well, and UCLA's athletic. Like that's always.
I told you, I'm a dent honk. Like, I like a lot of what UCLA does.
You were way high on him when he transferred there, and he hasn't had the year I think a lot of people expected him to. But like, that's a Mick Cronin thing. Like, they will be athletic. Yeah. 100%. You want to go back to Cincinnati, wherever. Like, Mick Cronin's teams will be athletic. They may not be able to throw that thing in an ocean from the beach, but they will be athletic. And so I think that's a very bad matchup for certain teams. I do wonder about the matchup with Nebraska because of that. Especially if their offense isn't able to click, because Illinois is further along offensively than Nebraska right now, right? Like, that's not a hot take. Nebraska's offense against a matchup like UCLA needs to figure it out in order to offset that athleticism gap.
Hey, let me give you a resume.
Okay.
I want you to tell me who you think this is. Yep.
Okay.
8-1 in neutral settings.
Okay.
Or excuse me, on the road. 3-1 in neutral settings.
Okay.
They are 13-1 at the house.
Okay. So we're at 3 losses.
They are 6-2 in quad 1 games.
Okay.
6-1 in quad 2 games. Clearly undefeated in 3s and 4s.
So well, I'm at 3 total losses. Did I count that right?
Correct.
I want to say that is.
And they are top 24 in offensive efficiency.
Okay.
And they are top 20 in defensive efficiency.
Ooh, I should know this because I was just looking at Ken Palm. I don't have it up right now. Not cheating. Oh shoot. It's gonna be Power Conference. Because I don't think anybody outside of the Power Conference has those metrics on Ken Palm.
Who asked you the question?
You did.
Okay.
I mean, it's not North Carolina because they've got too many losses. That's not Houston, is it?
Who asked you the question?
You did.
That's your greatest clue.
Find me the biggest, nastiest vodka drinking.
I didn't understand what went to that. Not quite Hot Danger. Who asked you the question?
You asked me the question. Who did Hot Danger say? Arizona
and St. John's.
It's not Arizona. Arizona.
Do you like the resume?
Yes, I think so. I don't. Depends on for what. Like 20 and 24, I probably don't love for national tournament bid. We're kind of flirting too much with the line or national title bid. But I mean, that's a Elite 8, Final Four borderline team.
Do you want to know who that is?
Yeah.
Hooah. That's
Virginia.
That's the Hoos.
Yeah. Okay.
Meet Virginia.
Yeah. Big train guy, huh?
I've tried to talk to you about Virginia.
You have.
Is that a bad resume?
No, it's a good resume.
That's a really good resume.
Yeah, I mean that's like what I said. It's about an Elite 8 team right off the. I mean, just.
But that's not how we think of Virginia.
Not at all. I can't believe I thought they had more than 3 losses.
They're
like
24 and 3.
Yeah. So they're sort of a statistical outlier a little bit.
Talk to me more or less than Vanderbilt.
I think more than, or it's the same as Vanderbilt, but in the opposite direction.
Because
like for being,
I don't know how Vanderbilt does it right now.
Like for being 24 and 3 in the in the ACC, being 19 in Ken Palm is low, right? Especially with the resume you just put out.
I agree.
Where Vanderbilt,
although Ken Palm for the ACC is thick in the middle.
Yeah, and they don't love the ACC at the top end.
Yep.
Vanderbilt, which they're higher on the SEC than I am, is 21 and 6 for having 6 losses and what their metrics are, which are not totally unsimilar from Virginia's. A little, I mean, they're in the same neighborhood. Feels too high for me at 13 in Ken Palm. So, like, I think they're off by the same amount, just in the wrong directions. Like, if you flipped those, I'm probably okay. If Vanderbilt's 19, 20, and Virginia's 11, 12, 13, I'm probably cool. I think those, in terms of how I think those quality of those teams, I think they should be flipped. Let me check the net real quick, though.
Go ahead.
I'm curious what they are in the net rankings. But that, I mean, I should have known you're a honk for the Hoos.
I'm really not. I just
you do love the ACC, though.
No, I want like data to quantify or to validate what I'm thinking.
So the net rankings are closer. They're 16 and 17 respectively, in Virginia and Vanderbilt.
There's just going to be one of those teams that we're missing when it comes to the bracket play.
Think it's Virginia?
I'm going to put them in a discussion.
Who
I'll
else
give
is
you a
in that
couple.
discussion?
Well, who else do I study? Ridiculous.
I mean, Louisville, I think, might be in that discussion.
Louisville's out.
Okay.
Matt DeMarinis asked the best question in our chat in 2 years.
The Illinois one?
How is Louisville good with their defensive efficiency, their metrics?
Yeah, that's tough.
They're undersized too. I didn't get into the detail because I watched them a ton and I just didn't want to bore him with like.
So Louisville's defensive metrics are a little better than we think. I don't know how.
Not than Matt. Did you see his question?
Yeah. I don't know how they are, but
they're not better than I think. He asked the question, like, how are they so good with the
for
metrics?
What they are.
Defensively.
Yeah, like they're top 30.
Yeah, and they shoot a ton of bad shots, which compromises them defensively. I wouldn't say bad shots, long shots where it would be hard to get back in transition and set up defensively.
So, want to know, you talked about this team with Nick for a second. You want to know one of the reasons that I am sort of high on St. Louis as a make a run team? They are number 1 in the country in 3-point shooting.
Yeah, I told you.
But here's the more important number.
Listen. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Here's the more important number. They're number 4 in 3-point shooting defense. That disparity is enormous.
Yeah.
And I get athletically that might not hold up, but scheme-wise, I think it might. Like that disparity is enormous. And those numbers actually historically do very well in the NCAA tournament.
You're going to enjoy watching this, and I'm going to be way ahead of the game, and you're going to be like, that damn DB, basketball nerd, blah, blah, blah. Although, apparently, I don't need a football analogy for basketball. It's okay. Nick's just trying to protect me. Like, you see guys like Trey Green and some of these guys for St. Louis that can shoot. Trey Green shoots like 46% from the field from 3 for St. Louis. You watch these.
I think it's higher than that, isn't it?
Over the season?
I think he's almost at 50.
He's
close to 50.
Yeah, I may be. I'm just telling you, he's one of the best.
It's crazy. He's
the guy that I'm talking about when I say he's one of the best shooters in the country, not named Momcilovic.
Yeah. Right? And Avila's like the 4th, like 3rd or 4th on that team in 3-point shooting percentage.
So it's like
they have 4 guys over 40%.
Well, they have 5 that go for 10 plus.
Yeah.
And points a night. So it's like or 6. Almost 7. They've got a guy going 9-8.
Yeah, that counts. I'm going to count that as 10. But
I want to go back to the team that I like not that I like, that I'm looking at other than Virginia. And I brought them up all year.
You've brought up Texas Tech a lot.
Yeah, but I think Texas Tech is past the do we like them thing. And I'm not talking about Tech anymore without Toppin.
Okay, fair. Totally fair.
They come up twice a week.
Well, I'm not a good listener. I know we don't talk about Iowa State enough.
No,
but that's not it.
They're on the other side. They're on the good side. This is a team that's in Virginia's category.
That is better than we think.
Maybe.
Okay. I'm having a hard time finding the resume is
Arkansas.
Oh yeah.
They
don't defend enough though.
It's Arkansas good.
They're good, but they
don't defend at all.
Yeah, so they don't defend enough to win a national title. They're good though.
Okay.
And Acuff is one of those guys that can get you to a Final Four on his own.
That's where you have to be careful with a guy that can take a game over.
Yes.
Because those guys can be outliers.
Which is not that everything has to be about this guy. It's why I can't stand Darryn Peterson.
Oh God. We were doing so well.
I got in a draft, I'm taking Acuff over Peterson. I just am.
Well, Acuff may be the best pro.
But that's the hard thing for me is we just don't have evidence for an entire game. And Nick pointed out hey, he was the first half against BYU and the close here against Texas Tech and whatever. But Acuff is the reason Arkansas is difficult because he can win you 4 games in a row just getting hot.
I'm gonna give you a couple of other ones tomorrow.
They'd be an all-time historic outlier defensively though.
But this whole fixation with me started off of how I could keep Nebraska on the 3-line or higher. So I looked at all those teams that are chunked up between 14 and 25. Mm-hmm. So I know I'm like the back of my hand.
So just for as of yesterday on Bracket Matrix, here's the difference between a 2 and a 3 seed. And I'm going to do this by telling you the difference between the 6s and the 7s.
Okay.
Because that's what we're really
that's what we're talking about
here. So your 6s, Louisville, BYU, North Carolina, Wisconsin. Do you want to play one of those teams in the second round?
No.
Absolutely not. Here are your 7s. Villanova, St. Louis, which is scary, Kentucky, North Carolina State.
See, I think North Carolina State and Villanova, I've talked about both those teams in the last 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Villanova's better than you think.
I got a better appreciation for Villanova. I do.
I'm not telling you they're world beaters. I'm just telling you.
I think that's a tough
on a team that you don't play against or you have to scout. Villanova is going to be a problem.
Would you rather face those 6s or those 7s?
Probably the sixes.
You'd rather play the sixes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my point here. Is there's not.
I'd rather play the. I would rather play the. No, wait a minute.
There's not a huge difference.
Timeout.
Go ahead.
Who would I rather play?
Yes.
Well, the sevens are worse.
Okay. So you'd rather play the sevens.
Yeah.
Okay.
The sevens are worse.
How much?
I don't believe in Kentucky.
How big is the gap for you between those sixes and those sevens?
Give me the 4 sevens again.
Villanova, St. Louis, Kentucky, North Carolina State.
Oh, that's tough. I don't like Kentucky.
That's a tough group.
Give me the sixes again. I'm going to sort out the bottom.
Louisville, BYU, North Carolina, Wisconsin.
Okay, Louisville is Kentucky.
And then the other 3 you're not really interested in playing.
Well, that's hard.
Right? So my point is
that's really, really, really hard.
The difference between a 2 and a 3 may not matter that much.
You just trying to make me feel better?
I'm just in general, can I
work frontwards to backwards?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to start with the auto buys for the Big Ten tournament.
So that's important.
So the auto buys for the Big Ten tournament give me 3-line or better lock stock.
Sure.
I don't want to be in the 4 discussion because I don't have those buys.
Have to stay out of the 4. I 100% agree with that. But if we're talking about between a 2 and a 3, I don't think it matters. I think people have gotten a little consternation they're not going to make the 2 line. That doesn't matter. If this holds up, I don't think it matters between being on a 2 or a 3 because you're neat. That group, honestly, from the bottom of the 5s to the top of the 8s.
And I think, go back, didn't Louisville hammer Kentucky?
Maybe.
I'm just trying to sort through them because I watched that game and it was not close. I don't think it was so long ago.
It was 96-88, but it might not have been that close. I just have the score in front of me. I don't have
Louisville, right?
Yeah. I don't have the game cast or anything. So
I know because there's a couple stretches during that game where I was like, "Wow, Kentucky's not good. They're going to run Pope out of here because that's a rivalry." Because it was so early in the season.
Yeah, and that's one that that's when you got to win at Kentucky. They get pretty. That's like an Ohio State Michigan deal down there. They will fire you for 1 game.
I know we got to get out of here, but not really. Where's Tennessee?
Jesus.
Is Tennessee an 8?
It's 10-08. I didn't even realize. Tennessee is.
That's funny, Chucky Chuck. I just right on cue.
Tennessee's a 5. Bracket Matrix has Tennessee as the second 5 seed, just behind Vanderbilt.
I was surprised to hear Matt DeMarina so quickly respond with yes this weekend when I said,
"Is Tennessee good?
Is Tennessee good?"
Yeah. So
I agree, Chucky Chuck.
Like I said, from about, it might be even I don't know, man.
Dude, second round's going to be a gauntlet.
It might even be middle 4s all the way down to the 8 seed, basically.
Second round is going to be a gauntlet.
Because the 4s are Michigan State, Texas Tech, Virginia, Bama. Bama and Michigan State both have enormous flaws on one side of the floor. That's the opposite side.
Yeah.
But they both have enormous flaws on one side of the floor. Then you go Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Arkansas, St. John's as the 5 seeds, which I don't know if I like that any better. It's the 4s through basically the 7s, top of the 8s is messy.
Yeah.
It is a cluster, as we like to say.
I didn't even get to my guys today.
Well, we talked about Amir and his trip to Tuscaloosa.
I got a couple more days to get the best out of you with recognizing people.
We're gonna do our best.
It's almost March.
We're out here, right?
Yeah.
What month is March? Do we have a special month for March?
Oh, it's my birthday month. That's all that matters.
Besides that, I didn't know if there was
my sister's birthday.
I know if there was
and St. Patrick's Day.
It's actually my brother and sister both have a March birthday as well.
Are they early like me?
No, they're late.
Yeah. You think they'll give me the day off Monday?
If you want to.
What's my excuse?
You want the day off?
No, I'm not 12.
Come on, man. You're like, hey, I'm not working on my birthday.
It's a Monday. What's the big deal?
Take a little 3-day weekend.
I don't believe in that.
No?
No. It's not like I rest anymore.
Well, yeah, you'd have to sleep to rest. And I don't.
Dude, it's so bad right now. I'm depressed.
You don't believe in that?
It's like 2:40 and I'm looking at the flipping ceiling. I'm like, ooh, I got to be better than this, don't I? Anyway.
We got to call Nick, see if we can help you out there with a little bit of the sleep.
I'm on Sarah Moylan.
I know. Maybe he's got some other stuff. We don't know.
I'm kicking his tail, though, or her tail.
Yeah?
Yeah, she ain't cutting it.
You got to watch out for Sir Moylan.
I just don't want any of the strong stuff.
What? Like the sleep aids?
What's the one that everybody takes?
Oh,
melatonin.
Oh, I don't do that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that either.
No, that stuff gives me crazy dreams. I'm out on that.
Lucid dreams.
I don't know if they're lucid, but they're not great.
I can't think of in my heart.
That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla.
Who takes a month off?
It's Hurrdat Sports Live. We will be back
May 22nd. That's a different people thing.
Well, he used to have that PayPal sabbatical, but I don't think he works there anymore.
That's him and T-Mose.
Maybe he still does. I don't know. Maybe
T-Mose has that sabbatical.
I know. I left like 6 months before my sabbatical kicked in. I was
like, bro, you ain't worked for 6 weeks. A month sabbatical. Must be rough.
I know. We'll be back tomorrow. More Hurrdat Sports Live.